Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of When Madmen Lead the Blind. In today's episode, we will have a brief intro section where I will descend into madness. But aside from that, after that brief interlude, we will pick up where we left off, and our cantankerous ne'er-do-wells are forcing a doctor to do something they don't like to do, which is work extended hours without pay. Uh, We have everyone inside Victor's palace right now. We left off right before the doctor was going to get to work on discerning everything that's in the papers. That's going to take a few hours. What are we going to do to pass the time while we wait for the good doctor to finish doing his course of business?
Now seems like as good a time as any to bring up the delicate issue of the visitors' feeding grounds during this time.
Wait, what?
You're only allowed to feed in the rack. The rack is currently closed. You need to figure out where you're going to get blood.
I mean, my men?
You have an allowance from the prince, so you can technically extend it to everyone else. Are you going to
Yeah.
give them that courtesy?
Yeah, I just allow them to go into my personal freezer, do whatever they want, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got everybody down there. You know what I'm saying? I got specific brands of people. Like, all I imagine is that, whenever you go to, like, one of those, like one of those fast food places that have, have one of those Coke machines that, like, go to all the different flavors. It's like how I imagine I set up my, like, freezer full of, like, my
Oh
people's
god, you have a
blood.
blood freestyle machine?
Kind of.
That's
Yeah,
fucking terrifying.
No, no, no. You have like one of those like blood soft serve machines, right?
Hello?
Like the people
Hey.
themselves are the tab machines.
Are you picking me up? Alright, there we go. Alright. It's a little too low. Alright. Very good point, Mercurio. Is there anything else we want to do while we wait for these several hours for the good doctor to discern what is going to go on?
I already spoke with you about what I wanted to do.
All right.
Cool?
Yeah, that's fine, yeah. Because you'll have about... It's about 2 or 3 in the morning. You are going to be retiring soon, so I guess I will drop the last hook from prior session, and then we will move on into retiring for the evening. I suppose now you should all chat amongst yourself whether or not you're going to be staying at this location after the night. Actually, we'll go to the next thing. So, as you're sitting there minding your own business, all of a sudden there comes a knock at the door.
Alright. I will have one of my men go answer the door and then come back to me and respond to who it is, to whoever it is.
You hear one of the men scuffle off, and you hear a brief exchange, and the man shoots back. Hey, boss! There's a messenger boy for here for you. And you hear a faint mumbling. I actually prefer messenger man.
Who is it for? Like, well, rather, who is it from?
It just says the shaman, boss.
What's the message say?
You hear some faint murmuring. The guy says he wants only you to read it. There's copies for everyone here. We got one for Ambrosi, one for Mercurio, one for Victor, and we got one for Francois. And he says there's another thing for Mercurio too. So Mercurio has 2 things.
He's gonna kind of look. He's gonna kind of like look at the rest of the group, and he'll go. He'll kind of look at them to see if they want to go with him and whatnot.
Well, I'm certainly curious. I'm getting the accent. Well, I am certainly curious.
So whoever, he kind of just goes, whoever wishes to go forward then. He'll start to walk himself, kind of definitely like a little bit on edge and being wary of this and whatnot.
Alright. You go to the front door, and there's a man wearing a bellhop uniform from one of the downtown hotels, the Langham. He has several cards which are neatly wrapped in his hand, and tied with a gold ribbon. And he says, are you, um, which one are you?
Victor.
He sorts through them, grabs the one labeled Victor, and hands it to you. Which one of you is this Francois?
That would be me.
All right, here you go. Which one of you is Mercurio?
That would be me, thank you.
All right, you have two things, and he hands you an envelope, and he hands you another rolled piece of parchment. And all right, and I imagine you're Ambrosi.
Yes, you are correct.
All right, here you go, and I will post the introduction of the letter. Is anyone going to open it up and read it aloud? Except for
Victor will.
all right, I will post it in the Discord channel, and you are welcome to read it.
All right.
And of course, it did that stupid thing that it always does.
So today's theme is technical issues.
Yeah, it is.
Only once he goes. Only once in a lifetime, even a long one, does one get to see a new land, a new city, and a new sky. Feel the ground beneath their feet for the first time in an unknown locale? You are cordially invited to attend the celebration of such an event this Wednesday at Langham. Doors open at 9:31. Who starts at 9:31 p.m.? Please bring a copy of the attached insert. And in order to gain entry, is yours internally the shaman. Do any of you all know who the shaman is?
Not a clue. Not a clue.
Does anyone want to roll anything in order to discern whether they do?
I guess I'll roll a streetwise check.
All right, so let me see here. Oh God, Streetwise is what the hell? What stat is Streetwise? Sometimes it's very interesting. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna pick something that's also 3, so I don't have to deal with this. You got 4 successes. You've heard of the shaman being the moniker for a powerful blood sorcerer vampire who, as far as you are aware, comes from Haiti. They're very old. You
When you say blood sorcerer, specifically Tremere or what?
1 minute, let me double check. I believe, yeah, Tremere.
Okay. Great. I wonder if the blood sorceress wishes to speak with us. Oh, great. Should we go to this event? He kind of looks at this group. We still have the task of the prince at hand. If we do go, I think we should have an update for him.
Agreed. How long will it take? When do we have to be there?
9:31 Wednesday.
That would be the next day.
Okay.
Well, we can tell them that we have people looking at the documents. That is something. Perhaps not as interesting an update or as likely to pique his interest, but it is better than nothing.
You're not incorrect, Francois. Alright then. How about... You know what? Who cares if the prince is up to date or not? I don't see why we shouldn't be going to such a formal event if they ask so nicely.
Might I have a moment to myself? He's going
Sure.
to sort of awkwardly stumble towards the hallway.
Sure?
Is everything all right?
No. Victor looks at Francois. We all are kindred of our own devices. Some of us have deeper, darker secrecies. And Alcavian is probably just overwhelmed.
Fair enough, my friend.
Unlike you, they have a bit of subtlety to their character.
And is there a character not the worse off for it?
Hmm.
After all, who would not want my character?
I don't.
Fair
But
enough,
then
my friend.
again, but then again, who am I to question your character? What about you, Ambrosi? How do you feel about this whole ordeal? Ambrosi?
Ambrosi, are you there?
No, I'm sorry, my mic was off. Hmm, This is curious. I didn't know that we were so well known within the city.
Well, as old as we have been, we are bound to make some waves.
Well, I didn't know that our group was going to be so advertised. Two of us are relatively recent.
That is
residents of the
true.
city.
That is true. How did they find the location of? Is the messenger boy still there, or has he left by this time?
He has not left. He is waiting for a tip.
No. Victor pulls out $200 out of his wallet and goes, "I'll hand you this $200 if you can let me know who exactly told you where to find this location."
He was this faintly tan man wearing tight robes. He talked to me for about 10 minutes and kept asking me really strange questions about my leanings with the French Empire. He then asked me if I was God, what did he say? A Franco Fistula? It was really weird, but then the guy gave me $100 to drop off these 5 letters, so I decided it was a pretty good scam for just dealing with some weird guy and his requests. He's staying at the hotel on the 13th floor.
Alrighty then. Thank you very much. And he hands him the $200 and then hands him another 100. Have a blessed night off.
I will.
And if you told anyone you saw me here, be sure. I'll make sure that you never deliver anything else again.
What are you talking about? I was never here. He gives you a wink and he walks on.
Good man.
Jahi then proceeds to, indicate and gets back up by a couple of goons.
Proceeds all the armed thugs around his place to just take him out real quick. I'm joking now. Actually,
Yes.
No, don't kill this man.
Do it! Do it!
Nah, he has family. Victor has no reason to actually kill him.
So he walks down the hallway and disappears around the corner. Mercurio is still in the hallway, a faint distance down, and you see Mercurio. How do you react when the messenger man goes past you, Mercurio, down the hallway?
I'll look up, roll the letter very carefully, put it into my pocket, and follow him.
Alright. What would you like to roll in order to follow him?
Uh-oh. Yes. Hey, Matt? Sorry.
It's fine.
I would like to roll, investigation?
Sure. Y'all can see what I'm doing, right?
Yeah.
Alright, perfect.
The 12.
Not really, just because I have to be on Discord on my phone, which means I have to look at it on my phone.
Oh, you can't do it on your computer?
No, my neither of my audio inputs work.
Oh, geez.
Well, that's fucking lame.
Yeah, it is.
Have you tried using like a USB headset?
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, that's how mine is. I have a USB
I'll just do
headset.
that.
I have a really good one I can recommend.
You got 1 out of 4. You skulk down the hallway, and the guy turns around, notices you're following him, and asks why you're following him. You manage to, however, come up with something on the spot, which makes sense for you to walk him out to the front door and see how he got here.
Fantastic, thank you. I'll extend my hand for a handshake.
Okay, he looks at you very oddly and shakes your hand.
Wait, this is after coming up with the thing, or this is the thing I'm coming up with?
No, I'm giving you the floor to come up with some strange thing to escort him downstairs.
Okay, fantastic. Fantastic. Kitty has discovered the blinds.
Typical. Do you,
Oh,
go ahead.
I'm. Damn it. Sorry. As Victor's honored guest, I am easily lost in this new place. A Mercuria. Malkavian representative. He'll extend a hand to shake.
It's like I've never heard that. I'm just a messenger boy from the hotel, but a pleasure to meet you. I imagine you're very important.
Nice to meet you as well. Delia, would you please guide me back towards the door? I've gotten a little turned around.
He has been given so much money that his ability to use reason has been severely restricted.
I mean, it's got like 2 weeks' pay in like one night.
Yeah, he's like, whatever you want, boss. Now, do you mean the door outside or the door to Victor's apartment?
The door out. Out of character. I deeply apologize. I was mostly paying attention, but I am trying to get him to leave, right?
Yeah, it's your call. Like, did you want to like interrogate him outside? What's your angle here?
Okay, well then I'm just gonna go ahead and outside.
All right. He shows you out to the front door, and you hear him say, "I guess you need fresh air, huh?" And he shows you the front door, and he exits. And in front, you see the Langham Hotel courtesy vehicle. And they have the address 330 North Wabash Avenue. It is in downtown Chicago, next to the river and near the Wrigley Building.
Wabash Avenue.
You don't need to write it down. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
It's just for flavor. Like they're gonna have the hotel address
Oh,
on the
okay.
car.
Okay.
He's from the Langham. It's Langham. So just go Lang and then Ham. Langham. He starts getting into the vehicle, but before he departs and before stepping into the driver's seat, asks you, "So, is there anything else you need, sir?" You can tell from his intonation that he is somehow hinting at maybe getting more ludicrous tips.
Out of character, I'm stalling because I don't see the cat. I'm super, super sorry. She was calm this whole time up until right now when it's my turn to interact.
Sure, it's fine. You can go back upstairs while you hunt down the cat.
Okay, cool. I'm good.
So,
Sorry. She was literally calm this entire time until it was my turn to talk, and now she's deciding to climb on stuff.
it's fine.
Um,
So, back upstairs, we have
Yeah.
our other members of the coterie. You have just received an invitation from the shaman, a powerful Tremere blood sorcerer, very old, who has requested an audience with you. You don't know why. You don't know why he's on to you, and you're also especially curious how he knew you were here. How are you all reacting to this particular bit of news?
Oh, Victor is kind of actually livid when it kind of boils down to. He's like, oh, nice invitation. What the fuck? How does man even know how to find me and like know that my guests were here? So he's gonna immediately search all of his men to search every aspect of his house to see if there's any signs of any blood rituals or anything that could be used to spy on him using Tremere blood sorcery and shit like that.
All right. What are their stats again? They are pretty basic minions, right?
Yeah, they're basic thugs. Near I think like tier 3 in them and whatnot. Competent at least enough and stuff like that. If you just want to piggyback them off my stats, it's also fine too.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. All right, let me see. So how many dots do they have here?
I'm trying to think. Three, right? I think it's a total of three.
Three. Okay. You have a three, and I'm just gonna roll a. Let me see what your.
I guess it would be intelligence and like. Let's just say that Victor's also helping them. So let's just say intelligence and.
We'll do intelligence and wits.
Yeah.
You got three. You got five successes out of
Oh
four.
wait, is that that's a critical success?
Yeah, you did very good. You actually scour your entire base, and you discover the faint remnants of an ancient scrying mechanism. However, it is not Tremere. You kind of get your hands on it, and it is a small crystal that was embedded in a vent. It seems to have been there for a very long time. You can kind of tell faintly from maybe, getting a little drunk with some Tremere in the past, and you can kind of understand how these things work. That this thing has been here for way longer than would be reasonable for this guy just giving you an invitation. Maybe an old rival put it in here when they were trying to steal business from you or something. You can kind of tell that it's inert. But aside from that, there is nothing recent in the house to indicate that you are being spied upon.
I mean, I'm very much concerned about the fact that someone managed to put something in there with all the guards. Um,
It's just filler. It's like, oh, I remember this guy. He tried to kill me like 50 years ago or something, but I got him.
okay.
Something like that. A little amusing thing to give you a little flush for
So-
your success. But yeah, he is not spying on you. You are very clear that you know that.
I'm going to talk to all of my. Like, I'm going to use my discipline. Whatchamacallit? I can't remember the name of it. Because of my discipline list, I can't remember exactly the name of it.
Okay, let's see what we got here.
Demortor's favor, and I'm going to make all of my blood bonded thralls, be honest with me and say that they reveal this location to anybody.
All right. You're pretty cruel, right? Give me a rouse check. Oh, actually,
Uh,
I have to do the fucking rouse
Yeah.
check.
2 times because it's level 2 and lower, so success is fine.
Yep, you succeeded. You look around. You manage to compel the lot of them, and they are faithful. You've curated a pretty good selection of ghouls. They have not fessed up anything to anyone.
Yeah. Alright.
Pass me the device. I'll see if I can get a feeling from it.
All right.
Victor passed him the inviting. He's kind of sitting there just still thinking, like, there has to be something I'm missing. Francois, have you blabbed at all about your meetings with me here?
Of course not. I would never let anybody know that I know you.
Fucking rude.
And Francois is clearly joking with you.
No, I
but,
know. Victor's also joking too, like, alright then. I have no idea what this could possibly mean then.
Perhaps it means nothing. There's no reason to be concerned yet. Whatever is going on, I'm not super concerned yet.
Indeed.
All right. We have a few more hours left until bedtime. Now, I imagine that Ambrosi wants to do something with the crystal that was found in the duct.
Yeah, I was just gonna try and use Wolfspec's powers to get a read on get it, or maybe even possibly see if I can kind of work backwards the other side.
You can intuit that the object that was written by the guy might be the most useful. So hold your invitation in your hand, and you want to use your auspics?
Yes.
All right, let me see here. Let me go over to you. I'm gonna make a rouse roll here. You had 0 successes. You had 0 successes twice. What would you like to do?
I will just leave it there.
Your failure to find anything from the crystal is not a failure of your abilities of premonition or your ability to intuit, but that there doesn't seem to be anything strange going on with the invitation, or how the guy figured out where you were. You get the impression that it was straightforward, perhaps, and that there is no clouded path by which you have to parse through the mist.
Interesting. Perhaps the prince has described uh, our entry to this person. It is quite possible that, as we were seen by the highest levels of society.
All right, good, good. It is about 3 o'clock. I imagine vampiric bedtime is in about an hour or so.
I mean, Victor kind of just seals off like his house to like be able to still do stuff during the day and whatnot in his home.
All right then. What do you all want to do until the 9:31 p.m. meeting while confined inside Victor's house, even if you wish to be confined within Victor's house?
Victor, what board game shall we play tonight?
I don't know. Ask one of the ghouls. I'm pretty sure they have, what is it, an Xbox 5 or something. Allow them to bring when they spend the nights over here.
Oh. Okay. Okay, that is...
What is it called? He looked at one of the ghouls. What is it called? The system y'all play on?
We have a we have a PS5, boss.
PS5, that's what it's called. No. I'm not a fan of the video games, or however they say it. There's also the 2-3 rooms full of the TVs, the movie theaters, but one of those is for me and specifically for when I watch my Dracula movies. That's my personal thing. I love looking at them and saying how inaccurate they were. He was way better than those movies.
So how do you all want to while away the hours?
If it would be allowed for me to cut quickly to outside to interrogating the boy.
Yeah, we can do that. Alright, so you're out front. He's about to enter into the car, and he asks you, is there anything else you need?
Possibly. What led you down into the hallway?
Do you want to use any powers on him, or are you simply trying to get him to fess up with some words?
I'm simply trying to get him to fess up because, like, I don't care that much, but it's, like, slightly sus.
Well, the weird guy just paid me $100, but there was this other guy, and he paid me a grand to give you that weird scroll.
Thank you.
Is there anything
Yeah.
else?
He's just gonna look at him for an uncomfortable amount of time without blinking and see what he does.
Yeah, alright, I'll get going now. You take care, boss. And he gets in the car and he drives off.
Okay.
Alright, the next scene is going to be Mercurial returning after a strange length of time downstairs. They enter back into the apartment while a lot of you are discussing what to do while you wait for your appointment with the shaman.
Mercurial, tell me, have you ever played Castlevania?
God fucking damn it, Francois! You know how much I hate that game!
Oh, it's fun. Come on, come. You are
Wait.
just a loser.
Played in castles?
No, Castlevania.
I've got a question. Canonically, do we know of Helsing?
Yeah. If you want to play a Helsing game, you can all find it to be a lurid pleasure. And you find it offensive.
And I have never heard of this and be offended for the first time.
Yes. Like, my god, a game where you just kill vampires? What's next?
like, so canonically, so like, whatchamacallit, Victor, like, played Castlevania, was like, oh, this is a pretty neat game, and then just sees that they were able to beat Dracula and goes, bullshit. This is bullshit. Mm-mm.
I think that Francois mostly enjoys Castlevania because he knows that he annoys Josh's character.
You actually always have a copy of Castlevania on your person at all times, just so in case there's a console around, you can just annoy the hell out of them.
Exactly. It's
That
ported
sounds
to work on any
expected enough
console.
for an Ansela.
Pettiness is in your blood. All right. You all can just go to sleep. I think you're actually required to do that, technically, if I remember. I can't recall the sleeping rules off the top of my head. Here, one second. So, what do we want to do while we wait?
Would you like to introduce Mercurio to Castlevania? Because I think that would be a uh, funny side adventure.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, that
just
sounds
going to
good.
do some research.
All right.
Victor's gonna be just talking with the doctor and trying to get him to write out a fully comprehensible report about the Peninsula virus, as they both put it.
Okay. So we're gonna have Francois and Mercurio discovering the horrifying wonders of Castlevania in the rec room with a bunch of ghouls. All right. Ambrosi and Victor, are your research aims the same? Ambrosi, you wanted to research bestiary spirits?
Yes.
All right. At present, that is not possible. You're going to need to get some information from a different source, and you may be able to find that somewhere in the near future. As you sit down on your task, you get a premonition of a figure in the future that will allow you to learn that better. And I think you know who that is.
Interesting. Who are the learned men in this city, Victor?
Wait, who are the what?
Who are the learned men?
What do you mean by learned men?
Smart people, boffins, people with more brains than yourself.
First of all, I don't have to need to think if I know I can kill anything that comes my way. Second of all, I own twice as much property as your homeless ass. And third of all, probably just Tremaine them out gaming to be your best bet.
You actually do know, Victor, of a very seasoned vampire who has masqueraded as a professor down at the University of Chicago for the past 200 years. He's that good at blending in. He goes by Kritas. He is an.
If you're looking for anyone, I would probably say Kritas, but he's at a college, so I think you're going to have to update your wardrobe.
That is fine. The hippies are still a thing, yes?
No, they're not. They're known as hipsters now, I believe. They complain about wheat bread and the patriarch or something along those lines. I have no idea.
You see one of the ghouls like try to pipe up to correct you, but the other ghoul just puts his hand on his shoulder and goes, "Nah, man, it's not gonna work, man. Like, it's not gonna help." So, Ambrosi, you will get your research. You get a faint premonition that your research will probably be assisted by Professor Kritas. And for Victor, your research angle with the doctor, he will present his findings after you talk with him. Um, Probably within a day after you give a discussion with him. It's going to take a while for him to digest all that information. Is there anything specific you want to ask the doctor to look into, or anything you might think the doctor would be able to gain access to that you would not be able?
He asked him, is there any specific, are there any specific, how do you say, veterinarians that he knows are very well organized and detailed in the reports?
What do you mean by that?
In other words, Victor's asking the doctor if he knows any veterinarians that are very organized and well detailed in their findings of like sick animals and stuff like that.
You want someone who has extremely good notes.
Right, pretty much.
The doctor tells you, well, there's the centralized dog pound. Oddly enough, it's open 24 hours. It's staffed by some very good veterinarians who I can, one or two of them I actually know. Not directly, but I know of them.
Can you perhaps send them an email if I give you computer access?
Yes, I can do that.
Merely compare your notes with whatever they have, understood?
It is understood.
Good. That's about it for right now. Familiarize yourself with the group here, and also bring your wife here as whenever you can. The rough tussle might have affected her a good bit and whatnot.
All right, you got it.
I also forgot that we did technically beat up his wife last time.
You did. She's
We
not.
didn't just beat her up. We
We hospitalized
we
her.
called in a hate crime.
You. It was not. It was not. It was not a good vibe. It was not a good vibe.
Like, how much does he actually hate us?
I don't think he knows that we did.
He does not.
Does he?
He does not. You didn't tell him. Hey, by the way, we committed a hate crime against your wife.
True.
So anyway, are we all going? Are we all going to retire for the evening and then open up with the entry into the shaman?
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds good.
Are we all sleeping over at Victor's house?
I'm
He
gonna
has
head back.
extended the courtesy.
Yeah. Victor has like several rooms that you all can have, like, can definitely use.
I'm gonna head home.
I'm gonna head home as well.
All
I
right.
don't want to become another face in the wall.
So everyone except Mercurio decides to retreat back to their hovel.
Why not me?
Oh, I thought you asked. Oh, are accommodations available?
Oh no, I thought you said Victor extended the offer, so he's
Yeah,
okay.
he did.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did. Yeah, he did.
Okay.
So you're gonna stay, Mercurio?
Oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
So are you gonna stay, Mercurio, or are you gonna retire to wherever you skulk in the night?
I'm gonna stay at Victor's place.
All right, Mercurio and Victor retire for the evening in a secured compound. Francois, let's start from the top and just give me a little blurb about how you retire for the day. Let's start with Francois. How do you retire for the evening, Francois?
Probably, returning back to the club, and I imagine Mercury, or not Mercury, oh my gosh, Francois, lives in sort of like a suite above, like, the club area.
Yeah.
So probably returns to that, goes up there, probably, drinks from one or two party goers that are part of his cadre, and then just, like, passing out, probably fully dressed.
I like it. Okay, Victor.
Victor is pretty much what all Victor really is doing essentially is just kind of like winding down a bit. He is taking a couple, like, he doesn't really drink anything just because he hasn't really suffered any hunger like that recently. There's nothing he can technically drink. But he is kind of just chatting with Mercurio, making sure they have everything they need before they go to sleep and things like that.
Mercurio would like to ask him, very casually, what sort of beaches are nearby?
I have no idea. I personally find myself being more of an introvert. That's more of a question to ask our dear friend Francois.
Introvert. Mercurio is just gonna look at this large complex that could fit many people at a time. Introvert.
Yes, an introvert. Is it so hard to believe that I like to keep to myself?
Oh, a kindred keeping to himself. What a shock. Trying to give you a knowing smile, like
Let
he's
me-
teasing.
Let me correct myself. I do enjoy going out and spending time with amongst the people, my tenants and whatnot. They are good people, and I like to make sure that they are safe and fed and whatnot, because again, they are, in a sense, mine. I am, as you know, the nickname for the Tamisis clan is known as the Dragons, because we like to hoard ourselves things. I like to hoard myself happy people, in a sense. People who will devote themselves because they are truly happy. I have went from nothing to everything, and it's good to make sure that other people can also have that same relief in themselves. But at the same time, I miss the old days. Now everyone's talking about gang banging and drugs and guns. I miss the old days where you could challenge a man to a sword fight and stab him in his throat in front of his children, and then take his children and make them your own. But again, we don't live in those times anymore. Times have evolved and things have gotten much more, I guess, stable, which is not a state that I believe my master or his master would have ever believed in, honestly.
Indeed. Would you like to talk about this, Master?
My sire? Hmm, nothing much to talk about in a sense. And as you know, many clans of the kindred tend to pick a specific target of a certain persuasion. The Malkavians choose ones with the clouded mind and whatnot, or with the ability to see. The Toreador like to pick men and women of ones of creative and artistic talents. To meet these are much more random. My sire saw potential in me, which I think I proved him correctly, and he was a nice man, all right. Taught me the ways of the kindred, the ways of a true kindred. We are no longer human. We should no longer be acting as if we are. But at the same time, I never truly got to enjoy what it was like to be a human. If that makes sense.
That does make sense.
I was a slave at one point. Something that I am glad that I could eventually, well, be proud of, in a sense. And the fact of the matter is that my master freed me from that bondage, and now I extend that bondage onto others in a more figurative than literal sense.
And by extending that freedom.
Indeed. By extending the
I'll
freedom of
admit,
these people all receive low rents. I've made new jobs for many of them, and I have done so much to help this community. All of it to say that, in a sense, that if I were to ever disappear or stop my funding, their lives would turn into complete and utter shit. They can't live without me, and I can't live without them. Also, they basically can come to me if they ever need any money, and I can turn them into any of these wonderful pools. Ask any of them and how their lives have improved once they met me. But again, that's more of just the interesting philosophy that the Mitzi's clan puts itself on. I'm actually a quite terrible person, no matter how much good I do in this world. At the end of the day, I'm still a monster that preys on other monsters, that drinks the blood, that can't ever feel the sun upon my skin, and I am more monster than human. The beast is merely inches from taking its way over me.
I'm glad we've met, Victor.
Very nice to speak to you too, Mercurio. It's always good to meet an old kindred, not these new, younger ones that don't understand what it truly means to be a vampire. These clinging to humanity as if it is still obtainable even in their state. But they all eventually succumb. They all realize the despair and hopelessness that comes with being a kindred. They all realize that they are, at the end of the day, inhumane and inhuman. Have a sweet dreams, Mercurio, and let your blood guide your sights.
And your treasure guide yours.
Indeed. And he leaves and goes into his special little coffin that has like a little Dracula paraphernalia on it.
Oh God, you fucking weeb! You deeb!
Okay, exactly. I just like to picture that like Victor like comes across as like well thought, well spoken, and behind the doors he's just like Dracula, sir.
Dracula weeb. I'll have you know I read the manga. So anyway,
I'll have you know that I actually read Dracula's journal. Fuck the movies, way less interesting than his journals.
so Mercurio, how do you retire for the evening in this strange foreign climate?
I'll retreat into one of his lavish guest rooms. The darkest one I can find. I'll fold and unfold my letter
All right.
over and over again. Hold it up to my ear. Exhale.
I love it.
and
Anything
toss
else?
and turn for a restless night.
I like it. Ambrosi, how do you retire for the evening? Ambrosi?
I will be hanging out with my followers in the church, kind of getting to know what happened with them, how they're settling in their new place.
All right, we can touch base on that a little later, but they've arrived in their entirety safely in a church in a location in Chicago of your choosing.
Um, oh shit, I didn't actually have a location in mind. What's like the safe? I mean,
It's-
it's something within a prince's territory, right?
That would be the entirety of Chicago, so it's honestly up to your discretion. And it's not something you need right now.
Okay, I guess come back to it later.
All right, and I believe that's all she wrote. Da na 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 na. But the opposite of that stereotypical morning song, because it's now like 7 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone rises from their crypts or their plush mansions or atop heroin addicts, as one does. Shout out to my homie Francois. The scene has opened, and the doctor has prepared his materials. He took the day off from work and worked over the morning, and Victor phones everyone and says to return to his apartment to go over the details before heading out to go see the shaman.
All right. Victor, I guess will pick everyone up in his limo. Or rather, he'll like wake Mercurio up and go, Mercurio, before we leave, do you want to make sure you get something to eat and whatnot?
I will never turn down an offer for safe hunting or otherwise feeding in a foreign land.
What would you like?
Middle-aged?
Man, woman.
Mercurio's just like so very out of his element here. He's like, woman?
He, presses the thing on the intercom. Go bring, A25.
You got it, boss. A25. You always have the best taste, boss.
Not for me, for I guess Mercurio, but indeed, that is some good taste.
Your guests have excellent taste, boss, as they go on.
And they just once again bring one of the blood tap machine, like one of the blood tap people.
Boop, 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 boop. You hear like something go over the loudspeaker? Yeah, can we get A25 to the top floor's living room right now? Stat, thanks. Few moments pass, and A25 appears and is plopped in front of Mercurio. Take it away, Victor.
And as you go, you're a middle-aged woman. And don't worry, she regains blood after enough amount of time, so take as much as you would like. Even if she dies, you can replace her quite easily.
Mercurio is used to Victor's attitude by now, and just feeds as normal to top up whatever he would need to do.
Alright.
How do you feed? Oh my god. How do you feed Mercurio?
He's not conscious, right?
Oh no, she's conscious. It's like, did you, I think I posted the image, but essentially just like, imagine if like their stomachs have been taken out and is instead filled with like a cup that is like filled with dripping blood from their body.
Oh,
It's
uncomfortably is the answer.
Okay, Mercurio, how reviled are you at this strange method of consumption?
He has gotten a little bit of time to warm up to Victor and his way of doing things, so he's just gonna like employ the 2-year-old style. If I can't see you, you can't see me, and just like close his eyes.
All right. You lap away and you gain the sustenance you need for the day. Now, you're going to go into the limo and go pick up Francois and Ambrosi, correct?
Correct.
All right. Uh, who wants to go first? Ambrosi or... God damn it! Ambrosi or Francois? Who wants to go first?
I will go first.
Ambrosi, you are picked up first. Go ahead. Describe away.
Which one of these 4 cars is picking us up again?
It's definite. It's definitely the minivan.
Wait. Hold up, let me. If I say it's probably like the third one.
Heck yeah.
Oh my god.
He's not using his nice car for this.
It's like a really old, beat up, mid 90s, like prototype SUV limo where they were kind of ironing out the kinks. He got it for a deal. He's really proud of it. You can make fun of it.
Wood panel.
He got
Yes.
he got a real like wagon. Like it's
No, he just combined like a bunch of fucking cars that his ghouls had. He's like, y'all don't need this anymore. Weird with this shit.
Okay, canonically, it looks like number 3.
okay. I'm gonna look at it with utter disgust. I may not have much, but I have some better than this. I sleep in better than this.
He's like, I can't burn my good limo if I'm going to some weird shaman nightclub.
Yes.
Wait,
I will-
is this the same limo that you used to kidnap the doctor?
Oh no, this is a completely.
All right. All right, go ahead.
We use that weird like normal car. We didn't use a limo for the doctor itself.
All right, go ahead.
So yes, I will gingerly get in, trying to avoid being seen by anyone else.
You also see Victor. You see Victor has changed his appearance just so that he doesn't look like he got into this car himself.
So you pick up Ambrosi. Now we're gonna go pick up Francois.
Yeah.
All right.
God, I wanna find the other like Top Gear limo. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they're really funny. God, you're fucking killing
I
me.
now want to watch this episode. I've
It's-
never watched Top Gear, but I want to watch it now.
my
Classic
God.
Top Gear is pretty good. All right. So we are going to drive to the shaman's house. Nothing. We go pick up Francois. Francois, how do you react to this terrifying limo?
Francois bursts out laughing. I cannot believe you actually bought that. I thought that it was just a joke, but you actually
One
did
night
this thing.
on your blood, when you got really high, this is what came of it.
I
This is
fully
your
remember
fault.
that. Oh my gosh, thank goodness. I will give you more of my tithe in the blood of, the heroin addicts and all that.
Please, not again.
Oh, that will be the only rent I pay now. This is wonderful. I love it. And, Francois quickly gets it. Like, it's the one with all the doors, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Francois, just to be kind of annoying, is going to get into the back door and be like, not this one, and then the next one, not this one, then the next one, not this one, and then the front one, and he's like, not this one, goes back to the back, this is perfect. And then he's like, okay, I'm ready to do that.
You fucking bastard. All right, Francois is in a limo, and we are off to the Langham. Is there anything
Francois grinning ear to ear.
Is there anything we wish to discuss before we arrive at the Langham?
Victor, coach is out, so are we all going to be on our best behavior when we go here?
yes, of course. When a strange vampire invites you and you do not know why.
Now, we need to figure out one, how he figured out that we were all together. That is the most important thing that goes down right here.
Yes, yes. And another thing. Let's maybe pick a less conspicuous car on the way back.
I'll have someone drop something off, but I don't need any Van Kindred to know that we're meeting some Tremere or whatnot.
Well, there are very few people that will own such a unique car. I recommend you bring the other one around. You know, the one which doesn't stand out in a scrapyard. The one which doesn't scream, "I am homeless." Yes.
First of all, this does not scream I am homeless. It screams I am high on some illicit drug.
As you say this, the back of the car backfires and starts letting out thick streams of smoke. And the driver in the front goes, "Ah, God, it always does that whenever you go above 5 miles an hour." And you hear him just hit the dashboard, and you hear it go,
You
go,
are not
kapunk,
helping
kapunk.
the situation at all. Please shut the fuck up.
This sounds more like a feature than a bug, because if you only go 5 miles per hour, then plenty of people have more time to admire the vehicle.
Fine.
I swear to God. All right, so we arrive at the Langham, and as you pull up into the front, where there is obviously a valet, you see all of the valets who are paying attention see the car and immediately leave, except for the one valet who is fucking around on his phone, who looks up, looks at that, looks at this, derisively shrugs and looks around, notices that there's no one else here. You see him grab his phone and just look at it intently like, oh my God, it came to this, didn't it? And he puts the phone away, and then you see him put on a smile and kind of walk up to the car. It's like, "Hello, sirs. It seems that your wondrous vehicle is stopping by the Langham today. Let me take that for you." As you see him just like smiling through his teeth. It's like, "I'll just take the keys for you."
Not to worry. He's going to go back home with this. You don't have to worry about driving this thing.
You see him momentarily break
Make
character.
it home.
Victor pulls out $200 and just goes, "You did not see us in this car, no?"
I don't even know who you are.
Exactly.
I like how bribery is just the standard thing. Yeah, we're good to go. Right this way, sirs. Welcome to the Langham. Are you here for the special event?
Yes, and he shows the entry.
You're going to take the special elevator. And he points down the hallway, and they have the standard elevators for guests. And in the back of the elevator hallway, lined in silver, is a special elevator, which reads Penthouse Suite.
Alright.
Lines in silver. Is that going to be a problem for you, Victor?
I should be fine for the most part. As long as I can just avoid the silver. If I don't touch it, I'm fine. Damn you, damn you, Dracula, and your weirdness.
Snubbed for the Oscar. So,
My turn?
not yet.
Okay, alright.
So you arrive at the elevator, and the doors itself are silver. The liner is silver, and annoyingly enough, the button to summon it is silver.
You act like Victor was gonna open up his own door, though.
What? How do you get the attention of someone in order to push the elevator button for you?
Victor they're all going to the same place. Victor doesn't need to do this.
This is probably like, if it's a special elevator, it probably has a dedicated whatchamacallit.
You're correct. There is a particular attendant for this. Which one of you dryly does the cough? You see the guy look up and go, "Oh, of course, sirs, of course." And he gets up. You see him about to touch the silver button, and he doesn't have gloves on. You see him put his hand to his forehead and go, "Oh God, I always forget the fucking gloves." And he turns around, goes behind the counter, grabs his gloves, puts them on, and then very slowly and very dramatically pushes the button with the faint resounding ding.
That
The
guy's
do-
terrible at his job.
yeah, he's not good at it. He's a temp. So you, the doors open, and annoyingly enough, you know, like the weird threaded thing where the doors go over, that is also silver. But thankfully, the interior is marble. So I imagine you all awkwardly just hop over the silver parts and go into the interior, correct?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. The door opens. You enter. The door shuts, and we are now going to take a quick break for about 5 minutes. And when we return, Emilio, as the doors open, you will give the next section of narration. Sound good?
Fantastic.
Okay, we will be back at 7:26. See you all
right.
shortly.
AM or PM?
Okay, we are back from our 9-minute, 5-minute break. We have our hapless ne'er-do-wells inside a elevator with silver doors. Their vampiric undead senses are less than enthused about this. Less than enthused. Not a big fan. Not a big fan of silver. It tarnishes and it kills them. They don't care for that. So now, they are riding up, and in traditional fashion, I'm going to make this the running gag of the entire campaign. There is no music in this elevator. At all. It is eerily silent. You can only hear the faint roar of the motor as it brings you up to the, I'm making a little cosmetic change here, to the 69th floor, which is conveniently the top floor of the Langham Hotel, and take it away. It's also a slow elevator.
The elevator doors open, and you are revealed to a very short hallway which goes down about 6 feet from you. There are no other doors on this floor. The entire penthouse appears to take up the entirety of the 69th. And the penthouse door opens at your touch as you enter. A glittering gallery of lights and a chorus of roaring laughter assaults your senses. The house is packed. You immediately feel as if you've entered a dream of earlier days, glamour, bliss. No one is there to welcome you at the door, and as you enter cautious, a tall Hispanic man waltzes over in some very fine evening gown attire. He extends his hands and speaks in a distinctively Puerto Rican accent. "I'm honored you've accepted my invitation. Welcome. I'm Paco, the shaman." He gives a polite nod and ushers you inside. "I'm sure you're curious as to how I found you all, and I assure you, I have not invaded your privacy. I keep a great host of connections and contacts, including the prince. Now, shall we speak somewhere more quiet?" He ushers over to the enclosed balcony and continues to move towards it without awaiting your response.
Victor just like kind of walks slowly behind him.
That's it, that's my scene.
Perfect. Now you have entered into the balcony with Paco, the shaman. You are entered, and you are in this beautiful, sumptuous palace that he has set up for himself on this private suite. It looks over the skyline of Chicago. The billowing fog from the lake courses through the granite canyons, pouring over everything. Even though the invitation said a party, you seem to be the only guests.
Victor kind of just walks slowly behind him, not saying anything.
Fuel decor could use some modifications, perhaps, for some of our for us.
Huh, I like that. Now, Paco, I imagine there are some questions you wish to ask our compatriots.
So I've gathered you all here to meet you and have a nice sit down. I am sure you're curious as to who I am. I'm not sure if you've heard of me very well, and I don't often announce my presence, but suffice to say, I was owed some favors and had some favors owed, and it was in the interest of many of our kindred that I took assignment from the prince to assist you in your tasks, which are now also my own. And I do assure you, I am a.
Wait, you just cut out there for us.
I assure you, I am a friend. Does that work cut out just about?
Oh, yes, thanks. Mm, a friend perhaps would have gone through a different intermediary that we trusted.
Short notice on my part. What happened again?
Oh, I'm fine. I'm still here. It just closed out the thing. I'm switching some stuff around. Go ahead.
Gotcha.
Short notice. I do apologize. The whelp that I entrusted was perhaps not the best foot forward.
Well, if you're here to discuss, I guess, the mortal disease, then we can probably work together if our friends don't disagree.
I see nothing in opposition to this.
He interjects.
Is
I-
everything alright?
Oh, had I known I must suffer the presence of a French beast, I may have reconsidered this effort.
Do you have something against the French?
He addresses Francois direct.
You
I
see,
suggest you mind me. Go. I do not take kindly to your kin, and do
I-
not address me direct. I do not.
you see. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I do not
No.
conclude with the likes of you, Castois.
Charlie, what were you gonna say?
Victor kind of like face very much contorts his anger. He goes, "Excuse me, I do not appreciate you talking to my compatriot like that. I think you should take your words back very soon."
Words must go. They cannot come back.
Then change the words that came out.
A simple apology would suffice. I'm not one to hold grudges.
Perhaps in
As
the
long
next
as you are
life.
willing to apologize.
Perhaps in the next life. But for now, as long as we must conclude our business, I will keep my common self.
Good. I don't like anyone insulting my friends.
Francois is just gonna flip them off.
Very good company to keep then, huh?
I suppose that perhaps we won't be best of friends then. But if we are going to, be working together, it would be good to not be on such terrible terms. Perhaps you should, be a little bit less hostile to me.
As it
Do not
stands,
get
I
me
am
wrong,
here to
I
do
know.
it. Go ahead.
Oh, that is very kind of you. Do not get me wrong, I know plenty of Frenchmen who are reprehensible, but suffice to say, I'm not any more reprehensible than any of the assortment you see gathered before you at this moment.
I will make an effort, in the interest of completing our work, to mind the pain that the sound of your voice causes me. Well, let's not worry about it. Enjoy yourself. There's plenty to dine on in the main bowl. You might not have noticed.
Victor kind of like sits forward and goes, "Are you just going to spend your time wasting with your wasteful dribble, just insulting my friend, or are you going to get to the point of how you're going to help us?"
Well,
Yeah.
you may not know, but I'm a blood source, and a very old and skilled one at that. I don't know why my mic's cutting out.
You good?
Yeah. I will entertain your questions here for now, and then we can move forward with the business. What would you like to know?
I'd like to know how you found out about my place of business.
Yes, your safe house, is it? I have a network of contacts. It has been a long time in cultivation, but I assure you, I took no liberties in assessing the situation. Merely, I know who to ask.
I'd like to know how you found out about the mortal problem.
Well, you see, the prince has a significant appetite for beautiful women, and I have significant contacts with beautiful women. It was just a matter of placing the right words in the right people's mouths. As it
That's
stands,
it?
as it stands, the information was a little bit easy to place together. Yes, but I don't.
Fine. How much of our situation do you know exactly?
The cattle are ill. We don't know who is doing it, but somebody is behind it. As far as the leads that you've uncovered, I have no information.
So, what use are you to us then? If you do not mind my asking.
Well, I may not know what you know, but I know plenty that you don't.
Such as? And is any of it relevant?
Such as how to speak English properly, but I kid.
There is nothing
Runaway
proper about
road
English.
hero.
Victor,
Mercurio is staring, unimpressed.
You can throw the barbs you like, as blunt as they are, but as of yet you have not contributed or offered any sort of information. So far as we know, you are simply a blood sorcerer who hates me and my kin, and that is about it.
and a blood sorcerer that is constantly irritating me by insulting my comrades. Again, I will preface this by saying, keep your nasty comments to yourself and leave my friends out of it. But I will say this, I want to know what you have to offer, because we can simply talk to the prince and say you offer no value to this task force in any shape, way, or form.
Thin, so thin, I wonder what daylight would do to. But let me assure you, I am incredibly skilled in the arts of magic, and I have control of certain members of society that prove useful to us. Mortals are easily swayed by me, and I am fairly well known in their circle. So, for instance, if you had somewhere you needed to be but could not gain access, there is, of course, methods that I have at my disposal otherwise to allow us to gain entry.
Interesting.
Victor looks at Abrosi kind of to be like, your thoughts on him.
I'm gonna shut down my stream. I'll be right back. Peace and stuff.
I'm just wondering what kind of feelings do we get from him?
Do you want to do anything?
Well, I was gonna do a insight kind of roll.
I'd like to make a vibe check.
Well, did you bring it in?
What? Why do you need what? What?
A vibe.
I think we're talking about different kinds of vibe.
Yeah.
Okay, let me roll your insight check, Francois.
Oh,
Also,
insight.
you're not showing your screen.
I'm not? Oh, here, 1 second.
I'm pretty sure you're not playing Valheim. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Alright, let us do our insight
Valheim
check.
is Trader's Minecraft.
Not playing Valheim is a mistake.
Oh, wow. Francois. Oh, not good. Alright, so we're gonna have Paco roll deception, I guess. Or
Can I roll
Wait, was
insight
I-
as well
wait,
afterwards,
Was
watching
I the one
them?
who was rolling inside? I thought someone else was.
No, it's Ambrosi that was rolling inside.
oh, my mistake.
Yeah.
I must have misheard you. Okay, here, let me roll Ambrosie's insight then. Rosie, that is charisma. Okay, let's see what we have here. Wow, 3 successes. Interesting. How do you want to overcome them attempting to read you, Paco?
One second.
Sure.
Oh, I cooked a rack of ribs and nobody ordered barbecue sauce, so. Okay. Let me look at my stats here. I don't know what I need to do here. What am I doing?
You can attempt to circumvent their insight roll. You have awareness, intelligence. You can attempt to throw them off the scent, so they try to, kind of discern what you're about and whatnot. You can throw them off. How would you like to do that? You can see your stats on my screen, and you can roll whatever you believe is appropriate. You just have to beat their 3 successes. Can you see your stats on my screen? Paco, can you see your stats on my screen? You there, man?
Oh wait, no. I think he said that he had to step out for a bit because of ribs.
Oh, okay. Here, let me pause it until he comes back. All right, welcome back, everyone. We're having some technical difficulties. Ambrosi here seeks to overcome the might of our friend here. How are you going to respond to Paco?
Do an intelligence roll.
An intelligence roll. What do you want to add to that? Awareness, perhaps? Or it could be intelligence and wits. I think that would actually be pretty appropriate.
How about intelligence occult?
Intelligence occult? Huh.
Well, I mean, Ambrosi's just like inciting him, right? So it wouldn't really be anything magical.
I
Yeah,
mean,
no.
it could be persuasion, subterfuge.
It would be like if he's trying to like get them off, like if he's trying to understand that Ambrosi is vibe checking him, then probably like intelligence awareness. If he's just trying to discern his actual intentions, then probably
Intelligence wits.
manipulation and subterfuge, or charisma and subterfuge. If he's trying to just like keep himself hidden, it'd be
Sorry,
manipulation and
I'm gonna do intelligence and subterfuge.
Okay.
Yeah. And hopefully, if the power goes out again.
Oh,
I'll get back
wow.
Huh.
Here, I'm going to tell Ambrosi what they discern.
Okay. I took a big Rolf on that roll, didn't I?
Yeah, that was horrifying.
I mean, it just might be the nature of a game or this client where the less dice you roll, the better you do.
I just have no idea about anything about this system either, so you'll have to bear with me.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'll give you the rundown. It honestly, the rule book actually says do whatever you want, LMAO. It's kind of. I'm
Yeah,
serious.
they
Like,
look like fudge dice or something.
yeah. Honestly, you look at it and go, what is a reasonable thing to do, and they let you do
Well,
it.
okay, so like the thing is that like the way that the book's built it up, right, is that your three basic stats is your physical, your social, and your academic stats, right?
Yeah.
So the idea that if you're trying to figure something out, chances are chances are you use your mental stats. If
Yeah.
you're trying to convince somebody or convince somebody not to do something at a specific line, then that would be your social stats and stuff
All
like
right.
that. You just kind of have to make that call. And then physical stats are always just anything that's related to like the physicality of
All
something
right.
or
All
whatnot.
right. So, Paco, you have determined that Ambrosi is trying to discern your intent. They're trying to pierce past a veil into your soul, and it looks like they've garnered a little bit of something from you. Um, how are you going to react to this kind of sizing up that's going on?
Well, I am going to hold on. Let me do a little bit of circle talk, actually.
Sure.
So I will just sort of keep coming back around to the same points, trying to keep talking about that in different ways. But essentially, I'll end that up by asking them, essentially, well, what have you found out yet?
Are any of you going to answer?
Victor looks and goes, I believe I will make a call to the prince first before disclosing the information that we have.
Feel
At the
free to
very
call.
least, he's friendly.
Here, use my phone if you'd like.
Do you take his phone, Victor?
Victor just uses his own.
All right. You dial the prince. It rings. It rings. It rings. It doesn't pick up.
I dial the prince on my phone.
It rings. It rings. Hello, Paco. How can I help you?
Lovely to hear from you. Lovely to hear from you again, friend. I have your compatriots here, and they wish to ask you some questions about me, I assume.
I'd be happy to oblige. I thought the reception would have gone rather well. What seems to be amiss, Ambrosi, Francois, Mercurio?
This man
Victor?
hates French people, and I am French.
Francois, that's not the issue here. The issue but
That's a good one.
The issue here is that between Mercurio looks around the room. 5, Anselay, and a wise man. No one has stated what they wanted.
Also, the decor is a bit problematic.
Victor looks at you. No, that's not Prince. I really wish to know if this man, Paco, as you so put it, is a part of what we should be including into this task force of figuring out what's wrong.
This man is the greatest practitioner of the occult arts in the Western Hemisphere. I suggest you have him come along. He'll see things that none of you can see.
Is that a suggestion or an order, Prince?
Considering your insolence, it is now an order. Cooperate.
Good to know that you still have some backbone to use your power. Thank you so much.
Jeez.
Mercurio rolls his eyes, not subtly whatsoever.
Francois is kind of glaring.
So you've checked my credentials to your liking, I hope.
No, not one bit. I dislike someone like you, but I can see that your usefulness as a Tremere might come in handy with what was coming up with us. As thus this is a virus does not seem to be normal. Perhaps others like you, one's practitioners at blood sorcery, have fixed it. And because of this I will be happy to oblige the personal information that will be found so far, as the prince has made it in order for you to be working with us.
Yes, and due to the severity of our investigation, I will attempt to put aside my discontent for patron.
I would
Fair?
suggest I would suggest you do the same. I have no qualms killing a kindred like yourself if you dare disrespect anything that is of my possession.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
Point
Francois is
being,
gonna kind of glance at him in like a, your possession? Like, what? Excuse me? Like, not saying anything, just very much his look evoking that.
what we have discovered so far is that the recent cases have been affected with something known as actually, if one of you all would like to explain these things, I'm not one of a medical practitioner.
God, if only someone knew how to pronounce medical terminology.
Yeah.
So do any of us speak Latin or no?
One of us does. It's not me. Anyway, to kind of put it out, when you return back to Victor's place, you will get the full dossier from the doctor, which is something everyone except Paco knows. The doctor said his report would be ready slightly after this meeting. So whenever you wrap up here, head back with Paco, and you will get what you need.
Essentially, pretty much, I guess we'll just give him the rundown of the information he found so far about the Mendus, like about how this is somehow related to dogs and whatnot.
And have
Also, I'm
we...
gonna like mention the premonition that I had about the spiritual.
Feel free to describe what you heard in some detail to Paco, Ambrosi. I believe I gave you a faint blurb. Did you write it down?
Yeah, sorry, just joking on some. Oh shit, I think that may have been in that may have been in the in my notes.
Oh, I can technically just I can just open that up.
Yeah, that's
Okay, you were trying to reach the connection between. I checked your notes, and even I faintly recall this, but you were trying to gain the connection between what and what, and you got a glimmer of the supernatural.
yeah, a glimmer of the supernatural because I was trying to check um for like connection to like the werewolves. So it's not physical, but it's a spiritual sort of presence.
I remember now. You were trying to see whether you literally used your auspex to see if werewolves were involved, and you got a glimmer of the supernatural. Paco, go ahead and describe to Paco what you hear, Ambrosi, and then Paco will make an appropriate roll.
So what I felt was I was trying to feel the connection to the lupine folk, and it wasn't quite lupine. It was something different. It was very faint, but if ethereal, it wasn't.
Oh, Emilio, check Facebook, or do you want me to message you on Discord?
Yeah, I have that open here. 1 second.
I'm not sure if I can really explain a feeling like this. It is very unique.
Paco, do you want to attempt to intuit, based on what little he has told you, what he discerned?
Yes, that'll be my next move here, is to try and piece together that information.
I mean,
I
can I like kind of like touch him and give him like try and give him that vibe?
Do you want to do an aspects and attempt to give him an understanding of the vision by almost projecting into him what you felt? Do you want to recollect the faint premonition?
Yeah, I kind of want to like hold hands, kind of like a scrying sort of thing. Like there's not, I don't think, a particular discipline for that. It's just try and like push the feeling
Okay,
onto them.
let me see here. Let's do a charisma occult roll for you. And let's see if you manage to convey this to him. You got 4 successes. You actually managed to impart upon him something meaningful enough that he can attempt to parse it into something more palpable. Right here, 1 moment. Okay. And Paco, do you want to roll your occult charisma?
Yeah, sorry, I was muted myself. Yeah, I will attempt to interpret his vision using my skills in the occult.
Oh, wow, you actually, 6 successes. Not bad, and 2 crits. You parse through him, you gain a semblance of the vision, and you discern that werewolves are involved somehow, but the connection is tenuous. His premonition was a sliver, a fraction of a fraction. You're going to need more in order to deduce anything further.
Let me go ahead and take note of the symbolism, and later maybe do an academics or an investigation check into what type of symbolism would have been involved to uncover the deeper layers.
Ooh, I like that. Okay, you actually have a journal. Unfortunately, it's in fucking Foundry, but just write it down in some scratch paper or something and send it to me later. All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else that we want to do before we head off to speak with the doctor and get a little bit more insight?
Actually, could we call in the car? The fancy car?
The one with all the doors?
What?
The one with all the doors?
No, yeah.
The one
All right.
that's back to Victor's.
Victor gets on his phone and calls one of his schools to start bringing the fancier limo around.
It's like, all right, we'll be there in. Wait, is this the car you used to pick up the doctor?
No. Once again, that was not a limo. That was just a normal car that we used for Francois and
You may want to flash a little less.
Okay, then I'll just get one of the other cars that I have, the smaller one that can fit a decent amount of people.
Okay. The one that you used to pick up the doctor, I think, was actually big enough to house everyone, so that one.
Alright.
Alright, so we are heading downstairs to meet the car, right?
Yes. Yeah. And you had something you wish to request, Mercurio?
Yeah, I was about to say, go on, I'll catch up. I didn't know if you were going to make me try to convince the whole party to go ahead of me, like, in character or not.
You can ask them that you want to speak with Paco privately.
I mean, I was just like, oh yeah, you guys, go ahead, I'll catch up.
Francois, Victor, and Ambrosi, how do you react to Mercurio's request?
Victor just goes ahead to the car.
All right.
I'm just going to shrug and kind of move on.
Francois pretty much does the same.
All right, Mercurio, it's you and Paco.
Once they leave the room, Mercurio will deliberately relax his posture and see if Paco does the same.
Oh, Paco's loose as a goose. He has no cares.
Cool. Paco, may I ask a question? Your opinion on some wisdom?
I would never deny you pleasure.
The saying goes thus: a kind man who makes good use of wealth is rightly said to possess a great treasure, but the miser who hoards up his riches will have no profit. The fool is his own enemy. Seeking wealth, he destroys himself. Seek rather the other shore.
Sure. I recall a snippet. Norton Shore. Is that familiar?
I'm sorry, I'm gonna turn my volume up. I didn't catch any of that.
I recall a snippet. Something I read or saw. Norton Shores. Does that sound familiar? Some ships or a manifest?
Norton Shores ships.
Let me take a look into this here. Pardon me a brief.
Take your time. Thank you for your time, Paco.
He rummages through his coat pockets here and pulls out a crumpled newspaper and unravels it. He found a headline there. Storm causes several vessels to flounder. Norton Shores. Wisconsin crew to retrieve supplies in 2 days. Something about what you said reminded me of this, and it is no ordinary thought. This was a divination. Was I muted for that time? Oh, okay.
No, I'm just writing it down.
Uh-huh. Oh,
I'll give it to you in post. But
Okay,
good job on keeping notes.
Sorry. Thank you.
Okay.
Mercurio's gonna slightly bow his head and just say thank you for your time, Paco.
I'm happy to be of assistance. It's what I'm here for.
Now,
I await our next meeting with anticipation. And turns around and leaves.
oh, good. Now, Emilio, quick thing. Can you stay the rest of the session, or do you have to go?
Yeah, I think I'm good to stay.
All right. All right. Feel free to accompany them down into the car, and we will do the next scene. And then we will probably be wrapping up within 30 minutes because there's one last hook before the cliffhanger, and then we're ready to go.
Has anyone eaten yet? As I mentioned, I have quite a few delicious guests in the next room.
No, I doubt that you have anything of my own personal taste.
Even a desire to sup from your table.
A man of distinct tastes. Understood. Well, he addresses only... What is your name?
Victor.
He addresses only Victor. Alright, now follow him. Yeah.
You enter into the car. It's a vintage Lincoln Continental, Victor's preferred car for bumbling around town and having to carry a lot of people, but not drawing too much attention. And the vehicle takes off down the gangway back to Victor's palace. As you are driving down the street, you are chatting amongst one another. Is there anything we want to say before we arrive at the palace?
No. Victor's just kind of just sitting in the car silently.
All right, perfect. As you are driving down, you are a few blocks away from home when all of a sudden you see blue and red lights behind you and a police car is signaling for you to pull over.
He looks at the driver to go ahead and pull over.
The driver pulls over, takes out the license and registration, and rolls down his window. The officer comes up. Afternoon, gentlemen.
Can I help you, officer?
Yeah. we've caught some reports of a vehicle leaving a hospital the other day. This vehicle matches the description. Where were you last evening at around 11:45 p.m.?
Victor's gonna use compel on him.
Okay, I will make one noteworthy thing that I should have brought up. The cop has a active body cam on him, and you are aware that the police in Chicago, their body cams stream it to a central server, not the police cruiser.
Victor looks and goes, "Oh, officer, we were picking up our dear doctor friend from the hospital."
Really now?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
What's the doctor's name?
You're gonna have to remember it, buddy. All right, let me
Dr.
have
Victor
you.
Frankenstein.
Oh God, I should have done that. Let me roll. What do you want to roll to remember, Victor?
Wait, no, that's better. Frankenstein is better.
No, we need to actually know the doctor's name.
Or you could lie.
No,
Sure,
you
lying
probably.
was an option.
With I guess give me intelligence plus.
Manipulation.
Awareness. I'm just trying to remember what the fuck his name was. So intelligence plus awareness, I guess.
You have no dots in awareness.
So then just give me a raw intelligence roll then.
Hey, this is gonna.
I mean, what if you used intelligence and performance? You have a dot in performance at least.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking about it logically of just like I'm just trying to remember stuff. I'm not I'm not doing any theatrics. I'm just trying to remember what the fuck his name is.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sort of good if you fucking double crit out. Oh my fucking god.
Did he do it?
Yeah, he did.
Thank you, Josh.
What's his name again?
Dr. Ramashamalan. You mouth this off to the officer, and the officer goes, "Oh, okay. All right then. Well,
Was there a particular police report issued with this car?
no." But the doctor suddenly left the ICU to investigate his wife's disappearance as he mumbled to various nurses on the way out, and he never showed up at her house back home to see his wife. He went into this car with this license plate.
Well, sir, I need you to understand. Our specific doctor. Do you mind turning off the body cam? This is some personal information, but one I believe is valuable to your report.
I'm not allowed to do that, sir, and I find it a bit odd that you requested that. Would you step out of the motor vehicle, please, into the motorway?
Victor steps out and looks at him.
Just so you know, Francois is kind of laughing in the back.
The cop leans in and says, "Sir, what exactly is so amusing? I'm going to need you to step out as well."
Oh, it's good. It's good. And I will step out, and I would like to use my ability that I forget what it's called, and I can't access my character sheet.
All right, I will read off what you can do.
The thing where I I don't know, make someone fall in love with me, or whatever it is.
Oh, present. Oh my God, your present score is so freakishly high. Oh God, help me. All right, let me just look up quickly. You have 3 dots in presence. I want to see what the hell you can do here. Okay, you can actually. Let me see here. All right, now mind you, you are being recorded. You're going to have the cop calm down in such a way that upon prior review of the footage, which will occur, will not look weird. All right. What level do you want to use it at? Level 1 and 2 does not require a rouse check, but 3 does.
What difference does it make if I use higher? Like, is it just more effective?
Okay, actually, yeah, but the level 2 one, and you have to kiss them, which is weird.
Hold on, may I
Love
assist
that.
here?
Do you want to somehow kiss them and then make it look like the cop is dating you and they were just pulling a prank or something?
I feel like that's considered.
Yeah.
The next one is Dread Gaze. You can't do that because you have to expose your vampiric nature. The only one you can do is you can use awe, which is going to be a manipulation presence roll. You can use this to dissuade him from his present course of action. So do you want to use level 1?
Ian?
Yeah?
Yeah.
What's up?
I'm
Oh, you sent
thinking
me something?
I don't know if there's like a turn-based thing here, or if maybe I can assist with this.
The game actually doesn't have turn-based. It's just natural. So once you see Francois being taken out of the car of his own volition, I imagine that you are going to want to do something, Paco?
Yeah. I would want to try and de-aggro the cop with a reasonable explanation of tonight's events that is completely fabricated using charisma and subterfuge.
All right, I will roll it, and I better hear some extremely good fucking bullshit out of you as Francois emerges from the vehicle. You're going to do a charisma subterfuge roll. You got 4 successes. One is a critical.
Okay.
Yep, you.
No, critical only counts if it's 2 of 6, essentially. But 2 of 10, sorry.
Huh, hold on a second then. Am I misreading this? 1, 2, 3, 4. It should be 5. Whatever. Well, you have 4 successes.
Because if it would have been a critical success, it would have been 6 successes total.
That's true. Alright, so you have managed to somehow briefly throw the police officer off of his game and put him in a position where he can be put into a more amenable posture. What do you tell him?
Officer, my friends, they were not with us earlier. Myself and the young, I'm gonna reference GM's character, who I don't know what gender they are. Ladies
Everyone's a
gentlemen
dude.
here. Okay, the feminine gentleman to my right. We were assisting the doctor earlier in locating his wife. Everything is perfectly fine, sir. I'm not sure who had reported him missing, but his wife was taking him on a surprise vacation. They have a wonderful room over at the, what is the name of the hotel I was at? Lambert Babadoo.
Langham.
We beat up his wife, by the way.
Yeah, no, we like.
Yeah. No, I'm out of character. I'm totally aware. I'm just lying my ass
Yeah,
off.
he doesn't know, so he's leaning into his strengths.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Okay.
we were assisting her in setting up this wonderful surprise for him as part of their anniversary. I'm sure if you look into that, you'll see that that was the case.
If that was the case, then why was she beaten within an inch of her life by hooded figures in the dead of night?
Are you saying that I, Victor Eder, have some responsibility to this heinous crime done upon this woman?
You see him put his hand back onto his service firearm and gesture faintly as 2 other officers emerge from the patrol vehicle.
So wait, was there witnesses?
Can we
to
all,
the assault?
perhaps we should all take a second. Let us take a breath. Look,
Are you all arresting us with anything?
You're going to be brought in for questioning, unless I can hear a very valid explanation as to why the doctor absconded for 10 hours in this car, in these license plates, and didn't go to his wife.
Do you wish to speak to the doctor? We can call him right now if you would please.
I would very much like to hear what he has to say.
Good, I'm glad I have to do your job for you.
Terrible thing to say to the cop with a hand on his gun, but okay, dude.
You act like bullets can stop me.
Yeah, they can. If you get shot in the head, you're dead, dude.
Have befallen this woman.
He looks over, he pulls out his phone and begins to call the doctor. Doctor, what's his last name again?
Rama Shyamalan.
Dr. Ramashamala, what were you doing last night with our associate and myself?
You were consoling me after the dreadful accident that occurred with my wife. I couldn't bear to see her in her condition. I knew that she would be taken care of at the hospital, and the emotional weight would have been too much, especially after taking care of all those poor patients from the rack.
Exactly. Thank you again for your time and effort, Dr. Song. We'll be home shortly to make sure that you are well taken care of, and I will be, of course, making sure that your wife's hospital bills are paid.
The
Any
officer
more
eyes you
questions? Any more
suspiciously.
questions, officer? And he looks at the name tag.
Johnson.
Officer Johnson.
I have my eye on you. Report to the station in Central to at least give a statement about last night's events. Maybe you saw
Oh,
something we didn't.
I see. Good to know and whatnot. How about this? I go to the station, let's say tomorrow night and whatnot, and I'll see you there, Officer Johnson. First name, by the way, I would like to talk to your superior officer about your treatment of me and my associates tonight.
Jeremiah, and go ahead.
Jeremiah Johnson. It's good to know. And officer, have a good night tonight. Keep Chicago safe from hoodlums like myself, no?
You see him give you a faint, dejected frown as he gets back into his like, all right, let's go. And he gets back in the car and drives off.
He gets back into the car, and Victor is definitely very angry. Alright, Jeremiah Johnson. My dear friend Paco, you have connections, correct?
Quite a many of them.
Give me, Jeremiah Johnson, I would like his address, and if he has any family members.
Oh yeah, go kill his family. That's not suspicious at all.
God.
Oh, killing his family? God's heavens, no. There's much more worth.
Wait, who are you responding to?
Talking to God.
He's just talking aloud.
His head.
All right.
I would like his name and address along with any family members he has.
Yeah, that's exactly what the cop looked like. So, the ghoul's like, you got it, boss. Jeremiah Johnson. He's going down.
No, that's going to Paco.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Paco is,
If you deem that a valuable waste of resources, I'll be happy to oblige.
I wish to see how well your connections go if you can just find one measly cop.
I should remind you that we should avoid dealing with the morsels whenever it's unnecessary.
Would you like me to find? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm not going to kill him, Ambrosi. That's much too kind of a fate for a degenerate like himself.
Or would you like me to find you a good sandwich shop as well?
No. The ghouls have their own little blog of where they fly to eat and whatnot.
Tony's, just across the water. Wonderful.
hey, boss, have you ever had Lou Malnati's?
I don't eat
The best
food.
way
ghoul.
the best way to deal with this is we simply, let the officer speak to our good doctor, and of course make sure our story is aligned, right? We are a associate, and we care deeply for this man and his plight of being attacked. So if his family being attacked so horribly has moved you to offer your services and finances and
No.
protection, that is why he is not making public appearances.
Absolutely.
Obviously, after we have our discussion, make sure everything's all clear and whatnot. Again, do not worry. I will not kill Jeremiah Johnson. I am by no means an avid of murder.
Fine by me. And of course we want to offer the doctor our support. His wife was viciously attacked on the eve of their anniversary.
Indeed she was. Though I will say that they should not have used crowbars on her.
That's not going to buff out. So anyway, you arrive at Victor's palace and you are escorted upstairs into the main fancy conference room where the doctor is waiting, clutching papers.
Doctor, you have to go report to the police station since you missed for 10 hours and whatnot. Do not be discouraged. Hopefully they won't, show you any prejudice due to the color of your skin and your name and whatnot, like they did ourselves tonight.
Yeah, of course, of course. Are you ready for the report?
Indeed I am. Meet our associate Paco. You will be making sure that he knows more. We know the thing that you have told us from last night also. Am I clear on that?
Yes, you got it. I took the liberty to just phone the other hospitals and had them fax in their records. I figured you'd like that.
Indeed.
All right, so our records at the hospital. The patients have MRSA and Brucella. one guy though. I think this is the only thing you'll probably be interested in. One of them had parvo. Parvo is a gastrointestinal disease that dogs get. It's not fatal to people, but one of the patients had MRSA, brucella, and parvo. He died of acute dehydration and internal hemorrhaging. It was very, very strange. I suppose the only thing noteworthy about the case is that the man died of a disease that normally dogs only die of. Um, the autopsy report just shows a strange tattoo on his back, which looks like, I suppose the easiest way to describe it is a bunch of claw marks, kind of in the shape of some kind of beast. I can't make heads or tails of it. This guy also had anosmia. That means he can't smell. And these diseases are transmitted through bodily fluids. They're not airborne. Initially, the report didn't list his address and only listed his name, Jeremiah Aethelwolf. I'm really sorry, I made up the other guy's name, and it was because I was staring at this sheet while I was giving the cop his first name, and I was looking at this guy's name, and I'm like, fuck it, everyone's a Jeremiah.
Victor, he goes by Jeremy. Victor looks at him and goes, "Were there any strangeness about his bones, structure-wise?"
He pretty strong guy, very well muscled. It was very odd. His base temperature was higher than normal. He came in just feeling a little ill and dehydrated, but his base temperature was 101 instead of 98.6. It was odd. The guy just said he burns hot, and we could detect nothing strange from that. I was actually going to think about writing a paper on him, but unfortunately he's dead now. I looked up his name, and I found his address for you. It's right over here, down over there in the southwest side of Chicago. Evanston and the University of Chicago sent in their medical records. Nothing really that strange there. Out in the University of Chicago, same thing, MRSA, brucella. The one person who died the fastest there, her name is Priscilla Portman. She lives over in Lincoln Park. That's the chicest part of town, I think you know. There's really no indication as to why she died so fast. She's healthy, pretty standard spread here. Nothing would really indicate that she would die.
Alright then. You are dismissed for the rest of the night.
There's actually one more hospital. Here, 1 second.
Okay.
And doctor,
Yes.
where are the bodies located?
They're keeping them in the morgue of the hospital. They haven't sort of shipped them out to the regular morgue yet. Over at Evanston, they only had 3 people go there, and all of them were students over at Northwestern. I think that's why they're at that hospital. I don't think they were taken there. It's just that they got sick while they were in Evanston, and they were sent over to the University Hospital. Because of the zootropic angle, it's noted that all of the students had dogs, which is rather interesting. Aside from that, details are sparse. This is all the info they would give me. I think anything more would be above my pay grade. I'm really sorry, sir.
He's all fine. You can go see your wife tonight. I know that she's probably missing you also.
He mumbles to himself, isn't she unconscious?
Oh.
Now, you are dismissed for the rest of the night.
You got it. Thank you for your...
email reports of your findings throughout the day constantly, and I want you to keep checking up back on this mysterious case. Am I clear on that regard?
Yes, you got it, sir. I'll head out right now, and I'll get you more.
Taco's gonna wish him a happy anniversary, even though that's probably not his anniversary.
He's like,
He just internalized the lie.
He looks at you and he's like, it's not June. As the guy leaves. All right. So you got a fair amount of tasty information here. It's about 8:29. The next segment, which is, I imagine you all are going to go investigate mysterious guy who died of parvo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad I made the right call here. That section is entirely roleplay. So it should just wrap up the next 30 minutes. Is that fine?
Uh,
Sounds
What
good.
time is it?
All right.
8:30?
Yeah, 8:30.
So he's in the hospital morgue, right?
Yeah. You can investigate there, or you can go to his address, which, based on the doctor's affirmations, would kind of give a hint as to how he caught the disease.
I want to attempt to go to the morgue, gain access there in order to do some divination with the corpse.
Ooh, that's interesting.
Whoa, repeat that, please.
I want to go do some divination with the corpse.
Brilliant.
wait, is it the same hospital as the place that we got the nurse's uniform from?
Yes.
Uh,
Paco, check your Facebook messages.
Yeah, I see you.
See then. Yeah, I guess we could just get there then. I guess. I guess we could talk to the doctor about. Cause I guess his wife would probably go to that hospital also, right?
His wife does not work at the hospital. She's a stay-at-home.
I mean, she would probably be at that hospital.
Let me think. Yeah, she would probably be there.
Let's see. Maybe we can just convince the doctor to just let us inside the morgue and whatnot.
I mean, it's very likely that the morgue is there's a vampire who is somewhat involved with the morgue.
I'm sorry. Perhaps.
I mean, I don't know if there is, but
Can we do a streetwise check to see if there's any if there is a vampire that works at that morgue specifically?
That is one hell of a kick.
or either a vampire or someone that
Paco.
Siphons blood from their 4 vampires or something.
I think Paco actually has an in here. Do you want to say something, Paco?
So I'm going to make some phone calls to hospital directors and some morticians, and I'm going to arrange to have the deceased's organs sent to the house in order for me to do a divination there, actually.
Okay. All right. You have the guy's address. Do we want to do anything with the address other than figuring out where he lives?
I mean, we can head there. It's
All right. What car do we want to take? Maybe a different car.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think so.
Let's not use this car again. If we can avoid it.
I mean, we're gonna take the limo anyway, but then Ian said to take the less obvious car, which
There are public buses in Chicago.
It's
I'm not getting off. Right.
even in a fictional universe, they won't do it. Oh, here, 1 second. I have to go stick a.
Especially in a fictional universe.
We can take the L.
We just take one of the many other cars that they have. I'm not.
Yeah, you have resource
do the
5, right?
GTA
You just
stuff.
have cars.
I'll figure that out while you're in the bathroom.
All right, let's take a quick.
The L is the iconic Chicago train. How are you going to come to Chicago and pass it up?
All right, here. I'm gonna put the recording on pause.
4 people.
All right, welcome back, everyone, to the wild and wonderful world of me being driven slowly insane by Ken's antics. We are entering into the scene. Our compatriots have just gotten some very tasty news about a mysterious man who died of parvo, and they are now going to investigate his address. Okay, I'm going to give you the Chicago people, if I recall, are Victor and Francois. Do you want to make any rolls about the address?
Streetwise check to see what type of neighborhoods it's in.
Oh, thank God. Okay, good. I couldn't just have you not do that.
The relief of a GM when things go to plan.
I wanted you to just... I was like, so you want to just go to the address? Not going to do anything, huh? Alright, let me see. Streetwise is what? Wait, is there no way to just roll Streetwise? That's very irritating.
Well, Streetwise and Charisma, I guess, or Intelligence to remember things.
Or it could be Insight Streetwise.
Okay, and I'm gonna also have Francois roll, because Francois would also be reasonably fucking sus at this, right?
Yeah, that's good. You can roll that.
Oh my God! You got an 8, Francois. Jesus Christ. Okay. You're okay. So,
He grew up in that neighborhood.
yeah, Victor thinks about the address and goes, I don't see anything strange about that, but he hasn't been paying attention to lupine politics. Francois, however, likes to keep his ear to the ground. That address is in the dead center of lupine territory.
Yes, this is not probably the best place for us to go. There are quite a lot of werewolves that like to prowl around this area.
All right. Can I just send a group of ghouls to go there and take a bunch of pictures?
No, I think it would be more convenient to just perhaps have the doctor call him and say, this person has passed away, and they would like to invite them over to the hospital to discuss.
We're not
his
meeting
next
anybody.
rites.
We're not meeting anybody. We're just.
Well, no, we can use that to get them out of there, but then possibly make
The guy,
our
the
way
guy,
over.
it's the dead guy's apartment.
No, yeah, it's a dead guy's apartment. There's nobody in the house.
Oh, gotcha.
You know that bumbling around there won't be that strange as long as you keep your wits about you, move fast, and don't draw any attention. But you do wonder, and I think Francois, you realize this with all of your ridiculously sweet rolls, that a werewolf just died of some random thing they shouldn't die of. So the werewolves are probably going to be suspicious. So you wonder what their presence is going to be around the apartment, or whether they're too afraid to even go in. You don't know.
Do I know any werewolves? Because I mean, like, we have established through our own talks in some of Francois's vents. Would he like have any sources or any like, diplomatic channels to get in touch with a werewolf or like the werewolves in general?
This is something that you actually keep very close to your chest.
Okay.
But you do. If you want to reach out to that contact, unless you want everyone to know that you're fucking
no.
cool. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
As long as you're careful.
Then Francois is going to kind of, glance at Argo and say, we ought to be careful. But I think that the werewolves use a copious amount of drugs as well. Everybody does. And I happen to know a few dealers who happen to know a few dealers, and perhaps I can get a message strung along to give us a little bit of time to get in quietly, and just as quietly get out.
I can place a ward on the domicile against werewolves.
Well, you can sleep wherever they want.
I mean, the fact is prime werewolf territory. That may be a bit exclusive and would probably draw undue attention to the area.
I feel like if we just kept to ourselves, we'd be fine.
Francois, you know that if you keep a low profile, the werewolves will probably not bother you because they're not allowed to bother you.
Okay. Okay, I didn't realize that they weren't even allowed to. Okay. Well, I think that a word would be overreaching. Run into diplomatic difficulties when you magically enforce that werewolves cannot go there, rather than based on the understanding that the vampires and werewolves in this city have.
But it would be advisable that they don't see you skulking around. So,
Yeah, I mean, like,
obviously.
we gotta keep quiet. We must keep quiet. We go in quietly, and we leave quietly. If the werewolves discover our presence, we keep cool heads and do not do anything rash. And if we go undiscovered, then what they do not know cannot hurt them and cannot hurt the relations between us and the werewolves.
All right. How do we want to head out that way?
I'm gonna bring a couple ghouls with me, actually, like one or two.
Are you going to take Flowers by Irene, the van, to go to this house?
No, we're just gonna take like two cars essentially, just one with the ghouls and one with us and whatnot. I'm going to have the ghouls go in first, kind of just like not like just walk normally around the neighborhood and just
Hey,
see if
do we have like a bunch of biohazard suits?
no.
Oh,
Ooh,
have
that's
you met a
interesting.
bunch of biohazard suits?
Yes.
Yeah, because what we do is we go and dress up as like biohazard, like in biohazard, right? That way we say, hey, this guy died from a really contagious disease. You know, we are cleaning the place, like we are sterilizing the place.
Especially because we probably won't even need to say that. They see the biohazard suit and skedaddle.
True.
But then they'll see our faces, and then
Well, like we can like cover ourselves basically in bleach.
Or we can make a bunch of ghouls do it too and stuff like that, and go there first to see if anybody pops out to like try to talk to them, like if there's any werewolves in the house or what. Actually, no. I mean, I feel like if we just go there, and I think like I'm bringing the ghouls along to see if there's any werewolves just scouting this place, or if this dude had roommates and whatnot, because that's
Well,
like
what I'm also trying to do is like eliminate our scent, basically, right? It's-
Yes.
well, I mean the werewolves technically can't mess with us. So as long as we're not obvious about what we're doing and we're not breaking some werewolf law, I think we should be fine.
Francois will get a sense that, yeah, as long you being there will make them go like, why are there vampires here? They'll be briefly intrigued, but the longer you mill around and the longer they notice you, the more they're going to start stirring shit.
Yeah, like
Yeah, what's up?
If we make a scene, then like that can go bad. Because like if we end up in a confrontation, like that feels dangerous. I think
I
that
could
if
maybe
it's
take on like
two
one
shootings
werewolf.
happening in the night, then like there won't be that physical face-to-face interaction, and so I think it'll be easier to just sort of like them to ignore us and us to ignore them. If we never,
I mean, what if I
have to see them,
use
and they never have to see us.
obfuscate? Could that work for the whole group?
Yep.
Depends on if you have the discipline for if you have that discipline for obfuscate that can cloud all of us. Because there's specific powers with obfuscate.
I don't think SJ actually picked her obfuscate powers, so let's just say she picked the one that let her do that.
Okay, let's note that down.
Let me just quickly look up the obfuscate discipline, and I will see which perk you can pick, and you will just have it, because it will make this pretty easy, because that was your main point.
Yeah.
Where the hell is the one that lets you do multiple people? Let me see here. Huh, they changed how this works. Oh wow, you have to be level 5. Oh, that sucks.
Well, yeah, it's an incredibly powerful obfuscate ability.
And in the previous edition, it only required level 3 to do multiple
Well, that's
people.
annoying.
Yeah, you know what? If you do it for a fraction of a second, if you get an equivalent number, if you get equivalent number of successes to an equivalent number of people, that's the amount of people you obfuscate.
Okay.
I'll leave it at that. Yeah, because it's kind of dumb. That's how it used to work.
Okay. All right. I'll.
Plus, it literally says do whatever you want, and I'm doing whatever I want.
Okay, so I'll roll that.
Boo! Boo!
I only now just realized I probably could have just used Dame on the cop.
Huh?
Well, I mean, I was getting ready to, presence him. So like,
Presence would have done something. All right. Okay. Let me see here. How do we want to approach? Give me a breakdown for how we're approaching this guy's apartment.
I feel like we just walk into the apartment, I feel like as long as we're not making like a scene of any kind, there's really no need to make a thing. Because if we're using Obfuscate, that's a.
It only lasts for a kind of curt amount of time, so you're going to have to do it in such a way that you can get there quickly. So I imagine first things first, you want to scout the location, correct?
Yeah, we were going to send in ghouls to do that, right?
Yeah,
Yep.
that was the plan. We were gonna send in.
Okay, how are you going to send in? Bless you. How are you going to send in the ghouls?
Okay, so here's what I'm saying. We don't really need to do anything flashy. I think we can just walk up to the apartment.
If you could see my face right now.
I say that. Look, what I'm saying is that like the werewolves can't touch us. The werewolves ask us what's going on. We'll say we can make up something on the spot or whatnot, and we can just leave if they really if they really do have a big problem with it and whatnot.
Alright, pitch it.
I feel like we could straight up tell the truth.
Yeah, we could just say that, hey, one of your guys just showed up dead, and we're trying to make sure that some guy isn't starting shit or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like we can just.
We
I feel like-
actually
yeah.
could probably tell the truth. I mean,
Okay. Discuss it in character, and then we will go from there. So just majority rules, I guess.
any reason we couldn't say. One of your guys showed up dead, and we're making sure everything's groovy.
There's no reason why we won't be able to do that. Even though the lupines may be somewhat baseless creatures, they are loyal, and if they hear one of their packmates had died for some reason, I doubt they would concern themselves to a bit of kindred checking in on them.
And then if they do,
Then we kill them like the filthy dogs they are.
Oh, that's not a smart
Calm
idea.
yourself,
if they do, we leave and come back in disguise later.
Huh, that's interesting.
Our scent will be on their noses. Once we're there, they'll know that we've always been there.
Well, you threw out hazmat suits ideas.
We had best to hope that they are not there and get a move on them.
Yes, that is probably the best, but really, how do we deal with the lupines should they notice our involvement?
So how are we doing this?
So I vote for that. We just walk up to the apartment, and if they ask, we just tell them the truth. Simple as that.
Yes.
But I'm gonna obfuscate anyway. Just
I
I don't think obfuscating is a wise idea, to be honest.
because
Yeah,
they can obfuscate is more vision and whatnot, but the werewolves are they're able to tell vampires pretty much the will and stuff like that from other things.
Yeah, they can actually smell you. He's right.
We want to make this look as above board and not shady as possible. I feel like,
true.
because then it looks suspicious, and then it's I think that we just send in a ghoul. I think we pull up in our 2 cars. We send in two ghouls to just look, see what the situation is, see if there's any werewolves. They come back, report to us, and then
We'll just have the
walk up.
ghouls
If
walk
there
on the.
aren't werewolves there, then we will scope out the apartment, gather evidence and all that. If there are werewolves up there, we walk up, say, hey, we're here to gather evidence because we are looking into the, disease that's ravaging the city and is now starting to ravage your pack. We're vampires, not werewolves. Thus far, we've been immune, and clearly y'all aren't. So this is just there is no reason for you to stop us. We are vampires. You are werewolves. You kind of got to give us this leeway, and this is to help your pack anyway. So step aside.
Cool.
But all that with a French accent.
Okay. So are we ready to enter the scene? We're just going to straight up walk up. Do we have majority rule? Has anyone opposed this plan?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, please mention baguettes while you're doing this.
Naturally.
All right.
I'll draw my baguette if
You show up to the front of the house with a van full of ghouls and your other car, and you made the right decision because there are 8 werewolves in front of the house. You can tell because they have the gangrel tattoos on their necks. They are milling around. You see them take a deep breath and go, "Why are the kindred here? State your business."
Victor will walk up to them. We wish to inform you that one of your recent packmates have died due to a disease, one that should not have killed him.
How did you come
I,
across this information? Even we don't know what killed the Packmaster.
the Packmaster. Oh, I deeply apologize for your loss. We had some reason to look into one of my blood bonded ghouls into recent medical history and whatnot. We discovered the tattoo of your friend and whatnot, and we thought it would be appropriate to come talk to you all about it and see if you all noticed anything strange about him before he died.
No, nothing off the top of my head. He did what he usually did. Fed the dogs, read his books, ran the pack, worked down at the Fed's office. That's all he did.
Do you mind if we come in and sit down and talk amongst you all? No reason for the prince's hatred of your kind to fear on what we would do to make sure that our Chicago is safe.
Do you have the prince's permission to be in this territory? You require his assent in order to enter our territory.
The prince has tasked us with figuring out what's wrong here, but I wish to come to this information with you all first. The prince does not even know of that your packmaster is dead. Do not wish for him to use that information against you all, as your kind has already been subjugated enough during these times. I wish to talk to you. One powerful creature to another powerful creature, if you would please humor me.
I am intrigued by your candor. Fine. You hear him just give off a faint howl. I'm not going to do it. I don't want to be on a recording making a wolf sound. And Coco Ringe, the werewolf howls, gives like kind of a faint little howl and murmur, and the other werewolves peer out of the woodwork, and the 8 you saw was not all of them. They're about 25. They kind of make a little semicircle around you, plop themselves on the building, and the Packmaster's apartment is actually a 3-story brownstone with a small balcony with a skylight on the 2nd floor.
Victor sits down and whatnot and goes, so, do you mind if I see the dogs in which your Packmaster managed and whatnot?
They all look at each other quizzically and then look at you. The dogs died.
Of what exactly?
Parvo and Brucella.
And that's exactly what your Packmaster died of also.
One of the werewolves guffaws. Ha! People don't die from Parvo.
Victor, I'll
You
say
can
that-
presume you brought.
Though.
You could presume that you actually brought a copy of the medical report along.
right. He slides the medical records to the werewolf and goes, here, read the reports yourself. Astute doctor did that. No forgery required.
The werewolf turns around. Jezebel, come here. One of them walks forward. She looks at it, reads it over, kind of sticks her hand on it, and says, I'm a nurse, and I can say these are authentic. He died from Parvo. And you can see them all look at each other, rather unnerved and shaken, and then they look at you.
I wish to offer a bit of a temporary alliance, one in which we exchange information that stays between us and you. No need to get the prince involved. You'd probably let your kind die and rot, but I do not see that is a fit for you all. You all are just as part of Chicago as we are. No?
He brokered the peace after the attack. Why would we go behind his back? The ne'er-do-wells who destroyed this town were all killed in 96. I'm glad they're gone. I'm not going to go against his back. If we're going to have a deal, I want the prince to stamp it.
I think I might interject here then.
Go ahead.
So, I have a airtight case with the deceased's organs, and I need to get into the apartment. We're
Right.
still on the outside, right?
We're in-
Mm-hmm.
Did we enter the apartment?
No, you're out front. You're out front
Yeah.
still. They haven't let you
I
in.
thought we knew that he had
Yeah.
reason.
I'm
No.
okay with them being outside because I don't want any werewolves in on this.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy that you have his guts. Like,
Yeah, no, they're not. So, let me go ahead here and see if I can.
Wait, is that container hermetically sealed?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
It's medical waste, of course. It's going to be sealed very well,
Okay,
right?
the werewolves have no clue what is in that. They look at you, and you can kind of see them go, it's probably just blood bags or something.
Right.
Snacks.
So I'm going to try and make my way inside there, and I'm
The
going to leave the prince business with y'all.
the lead wolf, the guy who is dictating the conversation, puts a hand on you and says, "Hey there, brother. Where are you going off to?"
Brother.
I'm going
My
to-
associate there was making making sure that nothing else in there could get you all infected, and you all can also die from what your packmaster did.
Do you want to roll anything in order to persuade them, Victor?
Manipulation and
Intimidation?
I mean, I don't know if intimidation would be the right thing.
Well, you are intimidating them.
I'm trying to. I say intimidation just because he's just trying to scare them into thinking that there could be a possible threat there.
3 successes. They look at you, look back.
I'm gonna use willpower to reroll 3 of those dice.
All right. God, there's like no way to just do like a straight roll in here if I remember, which I fucking hate. You got another 3 successes, so 6 out of 6.
All right.
He looks at you, looks back at everyone, and they kind of give each other a worried look, and he's like, "That's a fair point. All right, don't dawdle though." He turns around, opens the door.
Also, he looks over. Ambrosi also will be one that will be assisting Parko. No.
If you all want to go in, you are more than welcome. Just check out when you leave.
No, I wish to still speak to it, whatnot, and me also, my friend Francois here. But I believe the other 3 are more of the academic of the groups, and they should be more than suffice to make sure that the entire apartment is clear for you all to subside there. Is that incorrect, my comrades?
I don't see any issue with this if you wish to continue your conversation.
Mercurio and Francois, is there anything you would like to interject in this scene?
Not really, no.
All right. Do you want to stay outside or enter the apartment?
I think that. Oh, sorry. Who were you asking?
Paco as well. Paco, Mercurio, and Francois. Do you want to enter the apartment or stay outside?
Mercurio is gonna hang back outside with the werewolf in case anyone approaches. He'll be basically sort of like a little lookout while y'all are inside. Hopefully not nated.
All right.
Francois is also gonna stay outside just to like keep an eye on the werewolves and like kind of the interactions that happen there.
All right. So we're gonna have Paco and
Just me.
Just Paco goes inside.
I'm not going to with a werewolf. I have guts in my case.
No. Ambrosi, are you staying outside or going inside?
I'll go inside as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say your premonitions could probably divvy up something. I don't want the werewolves to see that shit either.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean to exclude you. I thought somebody mentioned the lady werewolf nurse.
No. Oh, well, I just convinced them that if they all enter, they could possibly catch something that should be able to kill them and whatnot. So that way, you don't have to worry about them entering at any point or time.
Yeah. Although this is a lot of werewolves, and werewolves are stupid strong for some ridiculous reason.
Because they only have brute strength, where vampires are able to like manipulate memories and blood and shit like that.
Yeah. Okay. So you enter into the apartment, Ambrosi and Paco. The apartment is tall, 3 stories with barred windows, save for a skylight on the 2nd floor on the east side. As you walk in, the werewolf lets you in, tells you his apartment is on the 2nd floor. You go up, and the door is right in front of you. Do you want to enter?
I am going to. Well, I don't mind entering. I'll just, I guess, look at Paco. Shrug.
Keep your senses open, and let's go on in. Enter in. I'm going to. Well, let's go ahead and get a description of the insides.
All right. You open into the door. And it's a pretty small apartment. Strangely, there's not a lot of natural light in here. Do either of you actually, let me describe the entire scene and then see if you all have anything to say. You look around and you immediately apprehend a large trash can full of dog food cans. They're all empty. They're all the same brand. Neither of you are from here, so you don't immediately identify the brand, but you think it's strange how many of them are here and how they're stocked up. It looks like something that you haven't seen, and you note that as novel.
What's the name of the brand?
Oh god, I didn't give it a name, and I'm so terrified. Go ahead
Hold
and
on,
give
hold
it.
on. Shurina.
Shurina?
Yeah, with like shoe, but urina.
Okay, it's Shurina. It's Shurina Dog Chow now, and that's why I never allow players to name shit. Except I always do. All right,
Hold on, I'm gonna type now. Real quick.
Shurina Dog Chow. And there is a small hovel full of food, and it seems to be cured deer meat or venison that is lying around.
Hmm.
Churina? Okay, it's Churina. All right, there's Churina dog food, and what seems to be large sacks of dog food in the corner. Aside from that, the apartment is pretty threadbare. There's a bathroom, a bedroom, um, and a weird lack of light.
Okay.
Interesting. I'm gonna hold up or I'm gonna like approach the venison
Hmm.
and see what I get from it.
You go over there and you catch a whiff of something, and you know what it smells like. Dried dog shit. It's somewhere in here, but you don't immediately see it.
Is this man just Typhoid Mary of the werewolves?
Oh wait, I'm gonna use actually one of the powers. God, what was it called?
I can pull it up. Right?
Heightened senses.
Fucking goddamn it! Open his powers. Heightened senses.
Like, basically, all what it really does is it allows me to add all specs to all perception rolls.
All right. Do you want to make a perception roll?
Yes.
Okay. It is a wits and resolve. So let me just do that, and it doesn't cost anything. You just fucking do it. Okay. You got, oh my god, you got 7 successes.
That's a critical success.
Yep, as you look down, you move some of them around and find some dried dog turds under some of the bags of beef jerky. You notice that this particular
Deer
bag,
jerky, right?
yeah, deer jerky. You notice this particular bag is much lighter than the rest of them, and you can see that the dried dog turd is kind of powdered off and kind of flaked into the bag. So a little bit of dog shit got on the jerky.
Interesting.
Oh,
Um,
you do notice one other strange thing. As you move the bags around, you see a very weird kind of bulbous ring on the floor. Something, like when you put a cup that has condensation on wood, and over time it warps the wood and kind of makes it bulbous and like kind of warbly and what have you.
Yes. Okay. Do we have like a plastic bag kind of thing?
You dig around in the cabinets and find some Ziplocs.
All right. I'm gonna take one of the bags inside out. Use that to kind of pick up like the shit.
Okay, you plop the shit in the bag. The bulbous ring is still there. You look at it and reach the conclusion that it was made by fluid, nothing strangely chemical, although you can see that there's like slight chemical burns on it. Maybe saliva?
Can I or do we have like a scraping tool or something like a chisel?
There is a knife
no,
on the counter.
no doubt in my mind that he probably has some tools around here.
Yeah, there is a drawer. You open it, and there are butter knives in it, and you take out a butter knife.
I am going to, I'm gonna let Paco know about it. Let him see if he has any insight.
Anything
Otherwise, I'd like to basically scrape off a sample, put it into a bag.
All right. Anything you want to do, Paco?
I'm clearing a space in the main room to set up for ritual. I think I had some kind of like, what was it with the Santeria?
Cuban Santeria.
Yeah, what can I do with that?
Oh,
I just want
that's
to do like a traditional style divination, using the meat of the deceased to try to divine the circumstances of his death, and also perhaps reach out to his spirit using an occult sort of. Let me do occult and charisma,
yeah.
maybe.
I will give you an occult charisma roll,
All right.
and watch this be ridiculously high. It is 6 out of 8 successes.
That's sounds good.
I wish it's
Six
separate.
is no, it does tell you. So like three is like average. No, two is average. Three is pretty high. Anything like five or above is like fucking top, like really good at it, like almost perfect.
All
So
right,
you
take it.
spray the meat and describe how you summon the spirit.
So he'd be working into a sort of a trance state, and using various spirits. I think I actually don't know much about this, so give me a second here.
Yeah, take your time. You can just describe the ritual.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So, just going to be incanting and praying over the organs there, and then cast them out, and just sort of keep doing that in a row until the spirit is sufficiently perturbed in order to arrive.
Hmm.
And I'll attempt to commune with the spirit psychically or what have you. I don't know what this universe entails.
The spirit appears to you, but it appears to you as light. How would you like to communicate with him? And it's light only you can sense, like light, and light that comes intermittently and sharply, almost like from one corner of the room, but you can't quite get a bead on which corner.
Okay. Um, Hold on a second. So it's what I'm seeing is just light shooting out like a beam, or what do you mean?
Like a beam, like light coming brightly from outside that is passing through a doorway and coming in your direction, and intermittently.
Mm-hmm.
You can attempt to persuade these spirits. Maybe you can ask for Ambrosie's assistance in the matter. You can still feel the presence is here momentarily.
Okay. Let's see here. Grab some of the food. I'll ask of Ambrosi.
Okay.
We're
Ambrosie, do you
gonna.
comply?
Oh yeah, I'll dust off some of the meat and bring it over.
Okay.
All right. So I'm gonna offer the. I'm gonna make an offering of food to the spirit.
You take out the food, and the light shimmers away and becomes dim,
Mm-hmm.
distant,
So
hesitant.
he's recoiling from the meat. This is the meat that was found in the other room.
Yes.
Okay. See here. I'm not certain what can be done here. Let's see. I'm going to hold on. I'm going to make a prayer to Saint Francis of Assisi, patron saint of animals,
Ooh, I love it. All
or
right.
whatever his century equivalent would be, because I know three purpose saints.
Um,
I'm going to turn and ask, perhaps if we let some more light on this situation, you might be able to regain some strength. Depending on
there is one door that descends into a backyard. It has a strange mechanism on it, and you initially dismissed it, but now having said, "Let's open the door," you notice it. There seems to be a small pedal on it, and you push it, and the door will open, prop itself against a magnet, and then seemingly stay open for about a few for quite some time, and it shows you the outside. And in the garden, down the stairs on the first floor, are two little tombstones.
Mm-hmm.
You can read them from here, but they say Fenrir and Fido, R.I.P. You conclude that
That's wonderful.
you conclude that these are the dogs they referenced that died.
So what's the state of a moon again?
It is not a full moon, because otherwise you would have the worst time of your life. It is a waning moon. The full moon was about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Okay.
Do the lupines, like, how do they deal with, like, artificial moonlight?
That doesn't do anything to
Okay.
them. It has to actually be real moonlight causes them to go berserk, and they have strict protocols they have to adhere to after the piece.
Okay. I'm going to suggest that we are trying to find what killed you and your beloved pets.
Yeah, I like this. I like
Companions.
using I'm sorry, I keep forgetting your name. Ambrosi as an intermediary to commune with the spirits since they're sensitive like that.
I like that.
Yeah.
It
I'll just keep evoking different immaterial spirits and making some prayers to try and keep the connection going.
Okay, I want to give you another occult check.
Mm-hmm.
And then, Ambrosi, I take it that you're going to want to do a Auspex or something of that nature to try to divine.
Correct. Yes. Actually, probably be like either using Spirit's Touch or something like something. Yeah, actually, Spirit's Touch on the graves is probably good.
Okay, I will have you do Spirit's Touch on the grave.
So I think I need a rouse check first.
I will do a rouse check. You succeeded. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Spirit's Touch. I have to look up really quick what Spirit's Touch requires. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, wow.
Intelligence plus all specs.
Okay. Oh, wait. I have to do it here. I'm a fucking idiot. Specs. Wow, you got a 3. You gain a faint impression, and what you feel is a troubled stomach.
Okay, I am gonna try and pass that impression on to Paco, like kind of the same way that I did previously.
All right, you two lock, and he also, the both of you feel a gurgle in your stomachs. And as you concentrate on this sensation, one of the cans of dog food falls out of the trash can.
Okay, so
I am going to put it into the bag and thank the spirit.
You feel a faint, reassuring touch, and then the spirit is gone.
my other occult check.
For your occult check, and his check resulted in the can plopping out of the trash can, which you intuit is the locus of their problem.
Okay, all right. In that case, then, is there any other cans left unopened?
You look above the trash can to a small cabinet, open it, and there are a few cans in there.
Yeah, let's grab them all. Let's get them sent for testing.
Oh, just take one of them, and we should probably warn the werewolves about it if we care about them.
But sample size.
Okay.
More experimental control group. All right.
Why do we care about the scientific method? We aren't scientists.
The disease.
All right. What do we want to do now in this apartment? Is there anything else?
Yeah, I guess I'll pack his guts back up. So his friends probably smell it now, huh?
They'd have to be a little closer.
Okay.
And, but if they go in the room, they're gonna be like, What's going on here?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna pack him back up and get going, skedaddling.
Yeah, same.
I'll leave some kind of an offering or whatever I might have on me, just as a thank you.
There are some flowers down in the garden. Would you like to make a little wreath?
Oh no, I'll just put something at the graves of the dogs.
Okay. I guess you might have some small ornamental tokens on you, and you just plop them on the graves.
Usually. Can I hand wave it? Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to do in the apartment?
Just close all the doors.
All right.
Basically.
You close all the doors and shutter them. And let me see here. All right. You head outside and you can report your findings.
Do we roleplay report or what?
Yeah, you roleplay what you say to everyone else when you head back
Okay.
outside.
So, first let's confer what you interpreted, what I interpreted, seeing things of that nature.
So, your spirit ritual seems to have pulled this out of the trash. Likely, this is what it was causing their pavo, their upset stomach. And is definitely related to all the dogs and owners' deaths.
Okay.
What happened with the skylight?
No, nothing.
I
don't
thought
think
we opened it,
We did?
right?
When you entered into the room, I made a point to indicate that it had no natural light.
Interesting.
So
Yeah, like I thought that isn't that what I wanted to look for?
you could open the door and that let in light, but the skylight's light was weirdly missing from that apartment.
Oh, okay. All right, that was my misunderstanding. Okay.
Yeah, don't
I
worry
guess
about it.
before we leave, then I would like to figure out like where the skylight is getting blocked from.
It is on the eastern side of the building. Now, Mercurio, would you like to comment on anything?
I can smell the cooling glass.
Can smell what?
I can smell the cooling glass.
Now, do you all want to go investigate why the skylight is mysteriously missing from that building?
Yes,
I'd like to.
Nah, I'm gonna go to sleep. Yeah, let's go.
Just to fucking park it right here. Does everyone want to head up? The werewolves will not stop you.
Oh, if the werewolves are going to join us, we're just going to let them give them like a brief rundown. Don't eat the canned food.
Yeah.
Go ahead. It's like, you think the canned food is what caused them to get sick?
I'm going to turn to Paco, kind of to elaborate how, or elaborate like how we know.
The Orishas sent us this message. The cans have something to do with his death. We don't know what yet, but perhaps the food is not safe.
Oh, he did not eat dog food. He usually only eats meat. And he catches it himself. He has a preference for venison.
Yes, but this is what impacted his companions. It appears, and it seems to have been transferred to him somehow.
There was some kind of cross-contamination. The place was, frankly, a mess.
All right.
You really shouldn't shit where you eat.
They all look at each other like, we have toilets, you know. It's a bit offensive.
Someone should have told you, pack leader.
God! We will tolerate this rudeness at the death of our packmaster because you are assisting us in this time of crisis. Now, do you need anything further from the remnants of his apartment?
The skylight, it's oddly not there.
The skylight lacks half its name.
There's no skylight in his apartment.
Huh. So there was just an inky black, like, glassy entity on the ceiling? Like, what?
You infer that they presume the skylight is reached by another part of the building that they don't know about. They don't know that it's supposed to connect to his apartment. It's something he hasn't told them.
Well, shall we have a look around?
Let's go back up there. Yeah.
Alright. Everyone is welcome to head up there, and I recommend it, honestly.
We should head up, and out of character, we are running a little past on time, so we should
Yeah, we're almost at the 3-hour mark. I'm gonna drop the little cliffhanger for next session, and then we're gonna wrap up.
Alright, cool. We all head up. Yay!
Yay! Okay, you're in the room, and you know it is supposed to be on the east side of the building. The east side of the building contains the hovel where the food is, and a large brick wall, and then an entry into a bedroom. It should be somewhere behind that brick wall or the hovel.
Can I walk up, touch the brick wall, and poke it, see what's up?
Can I just do a straight investigation check too once you've resolved that?
Yep.
Yeah.
What would you like?
And I'll assist him.
I guess we're just gonna have everyone just fucking poking and prodding, huh?
Victor's actually gonna take a look at it. Like, does it seem to be a solid material?
The wall is solid.
I mean, should I do
I'm
it?
gonna-
now?
I'm
Or
gonna
I was
tap-
like overall better
I'm gonna tap
investigation?
it. I'm gonna tap it. Does it sound hollow?
It is a brick wall. It's gonna sound pretty solid.
Like,
Wait, but isn't I got a question? Is my investigation better than yours?
I've got two.
I think did I have 3? Can't remember now.
well, what I'm saying is that, like, is there any part of the wall that sounds hollow or different from any other part of the wall?
Well, the brick is solid brick. Are you just gonna keep tapping along?
I'm just gonna tap my fingers along to see if there's any part of it that sounds different from the other parts.
Okay. I imagine everyone is basically going to be using the same approach to the situation, correct?
Mhm.
Okay. You can only roll intelligence, my dear friend Francois, because you're not a good... Oh, actually, I will have you roll insight, which will actually put you on par with everyone else. And then Paco is going to also do investigation and intelligence. And I think that's everyone. So let's see how... okay, so Paco got a 2, Francois got a 5, typical. Mercurio got a 3, Ambrosi got a 3, and...
Oh wait, I still have the heightened senses up.
Oh yeah, that's true, you add an extra auspice, so...
Yeah.
Oh god.
That's just an additional 4 dice.
Okay, I have to do your... Here, 1 minute. I have to actually roll it from your discipline then.
What would awareness be used for?
Awareness is just generally like think of it like perception, essentially. But it's also can be counted as social awareness too, as in should I have said that in this scenario and stuff like that. Like if you use it for intelligence, like obviously it's more of like to look around. If you do it for like with charisma and manipulation, it's more the idea of should I have said that or is that the incorrect thing to say in this situation?
Okay, so it can be used either for outward perception or inward perception. That's cool.
Exactly. That's the
Uh,
thing. The weird thing about Vampire the Masquerade is that a lot of that, like, you have to think about it, that a lot of these skills can be used both physically and socially and stuff like that.
yeah, it's
Like,
pretty weird. And some of them, like, they have charisma and manipulation, and they're similarly worded, so they kind of
Okay.
overlap, but they're not. Anyway, we could talk about the rules after. So anyway, Francois, you got 5 successes.
did you roll for me?
Oh shit, did I forget you? I'm an idiot. Let me go take care of that. And you want to do...
I'm just tapping alongside the walls, so I guess just to see if there's anything in beneath them. But so I guess I'll just be like, actually, can I use Streetwise? Because I'm seeing if there's like a hidden compartment.
that's actually not bad. I will give you Streetwise and Intelligence. And you got 2. Here, 1 second. Francois, as you are tapping along, you find that behind the hovel it is hollow.
Okay. Well, I will notify my compatriots, and I guess do we just knock the wall down then?
That's something I can handle. Does it seem like I need a little bit more strength than what I currently have at like a 4 to knock it down?
Let me go
Um,
ahead and use subterfuge to see if there's like a hidden access.
okay, go ahead.
While you do that, since Francois said it was hollow, I'm gonna also tap it just for myself to see. I
Got it.
presume.
That's fair.
You tap,
I presume-
and it is hollow.
I smell.
Go ahead.
I smell wet cloth.
I like it.
Oh, so I'm kind of feeling it, and I'm just like, this sounds like something I could use it for. All of you all back up, please. And there's no other werewolves in the room with us, right?
Nope. Oh, actually, Paco's subterfuge roll determined you push it, and you slide it over. It's a slide door with a little.
Fuck, damn it. God damn it.
In the interior is the skylight room. It is a small room, about 2 feet, about 3 feet by 6 feet, with the skylight, which is covered in grime. And the interior is just covered in materials. There's papers and test tubes and charts and more charts and papers. The book that immediately catches your attention is actually the Unabomber's Manifesto, which is propped on top of a chair in the corner.
Real quick, I didn't mean to kill your buzz, Victor, but also Paco's gonna casually quip that the brain is also a muscle.
Because it's alright. Probably best not to use that yet.
All right, I imagine that the lot of you, this doesn't require a roll, are just going to parse through the material and kind of just tell each other what you find while you look through it.
Yeah, should we end the session here and start the next session with what we find?
Yeah, let's
yeah.
let's review what we find next session. Yeah.
It's actually not that complicated, actually.
Well, I have ribs that have been sitting for.
Oh yeah, let's not. Okay, we will pick up
Like-
next time with the Unabomber's Manifesto, all 900 pages, and thank.
Oh, that is kind of like reading assignments.
I was briefly flirting. Should I give them a snippet of the Unabomber's Manifesto? And then I'm like, do I want to be on a watch list? Yeah. All right. We will.
And the anarchist cookbook, and then, like the location of federal buildings.
Then it's like we will pick up with Werewolf Kaczynski next session. Thank you, everyone. Here, one sec.